Hello, everybody. Welcome to this unscheduled live stream here. It is Thursday, February 12th at 8:35. See that right there? There we go. Yeah, man. So, yeah, I when I woke up this afternoon, I woke up to a message from one of my managers that said, "There's no load going down the road tonight." And I said, "Oh, that'll work." That's nice. I said, okay. So I had to figure out, all right, how can I make the most out of this day? So went ahead and got ready, and I said, all right, let me go out here and try to clean my car up a little bit. I did that, and then I said, well, I'm go ahead and put this new, I put a Godot 1996T on this Relic Frankie. I was talking about that on the last show what Ralph and I did last Saturday, J&R Talking Guitars and More podcast. And I just seemed to, I did the same thing on this Relic Frankie as well. I went ahead and took that trim off and went ahead and put a Godot on that one as well with the upgraded post, and it seems to work really well. I was having a little issue with this, and I said, man, I keep having to fight it, keep having to fight it with the tuning. So I said, well, we're going to take care of that. So what did I do? I went ahead and came back in from cleaning my car earlier, and this was this afternoon, and I plopped down in the floor here and put on some Phil McKnight on YouTube and listened to some of the different clips that he posts, different clips of his podcast. And I went to work and started to do the swap out. And I was like, wow, I like that difference, man. It makes a huge difference. I could tell. And so far anyway, I could tell, it has to settle for a while. Things have to settle. You can't just expect everything to stay in tune and stay perfect right off the bat. Everything has to settle. You got to stretch. Strings have to stretch. All that cool stuff, man. And let's see. But yeah, I done that. I went to the store and got I got some stuff to make tacos for my wife and I this evening. And I didn't know. I'm out of the loop so bad. I didn't know. I went there and I said, well, Taco Bell's got their own soft shell packaging and hard shell packaging. So I said, I'll get one of each, and grabbed some ground beef, and I bought that and got home and made tacos, and it was good, man. It was really good. We watched a movie, and so she's in there watching her shows, and I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna go live for a while. I said, do you mind if I do that? Because I don't care. Because she'll probably go to sleep here in a minute. She got home the other day. She's had a rough few days, man, helping her daughter being out of town. So she's trying to recoup from that. So here we are tonight, live right here on the Joe Wentz Project TV. Just you and I, and this computer screen and your smartphone screen or your whatever you're watching from, TV, laptop, I don't know. And let's see here if we can look at some of the chat. Looks like first up is Rico. What's up, Rico, man? How you doing? He says, hey now, from 33,000. Oh, you're up in the air, headed back to Texas. Good to see you. Man, good to see you, Rico. So you're on the plane right now? My goodness gracious. Well, that's great, man. Travel safe, man. I wonder how... you're headed back to Texas. Okay, because I remember you were at Texas for a while, and then you, I guess, went back to Arizona, and now you're going back to Texas again. Man, Rico is quite the traveler, which is awesome. Something I'll probably never experience. I guess don't never say never, but we got Cameron Hart. He goes, hey man, Hey, Cameron, how are you doing? It's good to see you. And let's see here. Pedal affected. Gotta love a surprise day off. Yes. Yeah, it's a... Yeah, I do. To answer your question, I do. Yeah, it's kind of a catch-22, kinda. Because I woke up and I saw that text and I was like, well, I don't have a text from one of my managers at noon. I need to go back to sleep. And I said, nah, there's no way my load is canceled. There's no way. It's the holidays are over. The bad weather's done for now. But it said there was no load. I said, hey, man, no argument from me. But yeah, so that's great. That's the good part. The kind of the catch part is like, well, what do I do? What do I do to make the most out of this day so I don't waste it? So that's what I was trying to do today. And I didn't have nothing planned because I figured I'd be at work. But anyway, hey, man, I'll take it. The long weekend, right? Sean, 1977, he goes, hey, Joe. Hey, Sean, how are you, sir? Nice to see you. Let's see here. Rico is on his flight. He's heading to Dallas, Texas, or Texas, I'm sorry. And he said he should land. Okay, he should land in Dallas in 30 minutes. Wow. That's nice. How long of a flight is that from Arizona to Dallas? How long of a flight is that? Interesting. Rod. Hey, Rod, what's going on, sir? How are you doing? Nice to see you, man. Rico, are you flying the plane? Good God. I didn't know you were a pilot. Wow. That's impressive, man. That's cool, man. Thanks for the picture. That's awesome. Wow. He just sent me a picture from the cockpit. He's looking at, boom. I was like, oh my God. That's awesome, man. That is so cool. That is cool, man. That is all right, man. Wow. That is really cool. I've always loved flight. I've always been infatuated with flight, man. But I'm not crazy about heights. That's what's so, I know that's just so dumb. I've always, when I was growing up, my favorite superhero was Superman, you know, because he could fly. You know, I just thought that was so cool. And then, yeah, it takes a lot. I can only imagine all the training you have to go through to do something like that, and I don't have the discipline for that. So I said, well, the next best thing, I'll get a drone. So I started to buy drones years ago. Started off with the little cheap ones and worked my way up to what I have now in my DJI. It's a Mini 2 or something? I don't know. It takes excellent video, so I love to do that when I have time. That's the closest thing I get to being in the air, but my feet are on the ground. That's that makes any sense. Kind of almost like a Casey Kasem reference, isn't it? Let's see. Yes, Rod, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Rico says Philadelphia to Dallas Fort Worth, an hour and 45 minutes tonight. Oh, okay. That ain't bad. That's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. We got Mr. Lance. He says, good afternoon, Joe. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing? Oh, you're in the back tonight. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, yeah, I thought maybe that picture, I thought, wow, he must be a co-pilot or something. I don't know nothing about that stuff. I just think it's really cool. We can talk offline. Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. I'll be quiet about it. I don't want to get nobody in trouble. Let's see here. Mr. Kerry Crouch is here. Nice to see you, man. Hello. He goes, hey, Joe, after a long day at work, it's good to see you. Hey, thank you, man. It's good to see you. Good to see everybody. It's, thank you very much. Nice to see y'all. Yeah, this is a surprise stream. Yeah, I know you're probably thinking, what's he doing on? You know, because it's not planned at all. But yes. Let's see here. Bloody Soup is in the house. Wow, everybody's jumping in. This is amazing. Hey, Bloody Soup, how are you doing, man? I'm not underneath the clock tonight. Like when I'm doing a live drive, you know, I'm sitting in my truck, and I had turned the flashlight on. And if people don't know what I'm talking about, if you're new here, I do these things called live drives from once in a while when I'm almost at work, and I get on the frontage road. I wait till I get on the frontage road to turn the camera on because I'm right there at work, and I do a live drive is what I like to call it, and chat with the fine folks in the comment section for a while, and just talk about stuff. And I'm bad about when I'm doing those things. I'll talk. The chat is amazing. The chat is popping, and it keeps ideas going, flowing, you know, keeps the conversation flowing rather. And next thing I know, it's like dark, and I'm like, I gotta get out of this pickup truck and get in my rig and go, man. And but I just enjoy talking to y'all, man. I really do. I really, really do. It's that's why I'm doing this tonight. So I don't have to, you know, I got 30 minutes and I gotta go. Not tonight. We can go as long as we want to. As long as the chat is willing to go, I'll be right here. So that's cool. Let's see. We have Mr. Bill Frank. Hello from Detroit Rock City. Get up. Oh man, that reminds me. That reference Detroit Rock City. Kiss, of course. And I think it was last week. Yeah, toward the end of last week. I don't know what made me look into this. I was just bored. And I said, man, I was thinking to myself, you remember when Gene Simmons was doing that vault tour? When he had that vault with all these recordings, and people were paying him to come to their house or whatever and talk and supposedly play some songs. And I don't know, I guess he would be there for maybe an hour. I don't know, something like that. So I started looking I think the year of that stuff that I saw was in 2017. I was like, wow, that was a while back. Of course, there was a couple of them. He appeared in these nice homes, of course. It's people with more money than sense. It's still a cool experience. I mean, I enjoy Kiss. I mean, I can show you right here. I enjoy Kiss. You got a Kiss guitar picks in here, you know, and of course, Ace Frehley is right there. Frehley. People say Frehley. I try not to do that. I think it's pronounced Frehley, but I've heard people say both. And I was watching some of those, and man, there was no rhyme or reason to those things. They were just, all of those were off the cuff. And there was a couple of appearances I saw where Ace joined them, which was really cool. But if you know anything, especially about Ace, he was practically deaf. You know, he couldn't hear. But they would sit there, Gene would have an acoustic, and Ace would have an acoustic, and they were trying to play, and they would play like intro of a song. It was horrible. It was a train wreck. And I'm like, dang, they couldn't rehearse none of this. I mean, have something kind of in the can ready to go to, and it was awful. And there was one that I saw. I'll get to your comment section in just 1 second. There's one that I saw where Vinnie Vincent come out with Gene. I guess they were in there was like a backyard party behind somebody's nice mansion. And I was like, wow, there's Vinnie Vincent. And if you know anything about Vinnie Vincent, you know his let's just say his life history with the band, and then after that, everything just kind of, after the Vinnie Vincent Invasion stuff, everything just kind of went into a weird direction, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, he's out there with Gene, and they're supposed to be playing guitars and doing stuff. And you can see Vinny kind of go, did y'all like it when we played together back in Kiss? And I was like, uh-oh, he's fishing right here. He's fishing. Here he goes. And people are clapping, however many people are there. And Vinny goes, would y'all like to see us play together again? And I think what we did was mad. I was like, Vinny, they're not going to let you in that band. I don't think they're going to let you back in there. But I just thought that was wild. I was like, man, crazy. It was something else. It was just wild to still be able to look that up and say, man, interesting to go back and look at some of that. Old Gene Simmons, all about the money. Bloody Soup, he goes, this is all, or that's awesome. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. Thank you for being here. Okay, Cameron Hart. I'm still upset about that Charvel, so I ordered a mini quad Cortex today from Sweetwater. And in 1 to 3 months, I'll have it. Oh, those are back ordered? The mini quad Cortex? Well, congratulations, man. Cameron, yes, I think on the show last Saturday, he chimed in and said he was looking at a Charvel. And he couldn't make his mind up whether to pull the trigger or not. I think he was a little hesitant. He was like, I don't know. So I can say, from my experience, whenever that's happened, if there's any hesitation, it's probably not going to end well. Not for me. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't get on Reverb and find a used one and still do your thing. Definitely you can. Now, I'm curious, Cameron, did you check Reverb for that specific guitar? And what was you might have told me before, you have to forgive me. What was the color? I'm just curious. And yeah. Let's see here. Cause there was a Charvel that I was really, San Dimas. That's hanging up. I don't know if you can see it right there. Kind of see it right here on the wall right here. It's just it's a baby blue color. I really enjoy these guitars. This is got it hanging up on the hook right here. This is it right here. And that's beautiful. I had this same model last year, and I sold it along with another Charvel that was, well, a bunch of them that were this type of model. And I had one this color, and I had one that was called like a hard shell pink or something. And I sold those two. I sold another Charvel that had an awesome paint job on it, kind of a black with a red blended in together. It was an older model, but it was still the same body style. I sold it to a guy at work last year. But I really miss this guitar. I miss this color. I love the white pickups, the Seymour Duncan. They're great. Now, I did take this guitar, and I don't know if you can tell by looking at this from this angle, but I upgraded the trim. I took the Floyd out of there. I kept it, but I sold it. I took it out and I put in a gold Godo 1996 T, and I put on some gold knobs and some gold locking screws at the top right there too. So this is the model I've always loved with Charvels, man. It's just fantastic. That's my favorite right there. Love those models, man. Very comfortable for me anyway. And they're just fun to play. Let's see what we got. Is this Lance? He says, Joe, if you get a chance, check out my post in your last live drive stream. Okay, sure, man. Yeah, I try to get to comments. I know I can't get to them right away a lot of times because I'm especially when I'm working, I'm just really busy. But I will at least give it a heart and a thumbs up, so at least you know that I read it. Hey Dwight, how you doing, man? Nice to see you. Let's see. Let me see here. Cameron, he says that I played 3 in the store and they were all used, and that one just had it, if you know what I mean. Oh yeah, absolutely, I know what you mean. Yes sir, I know exactly what you mean. There's been guitars. I went to Guitar Center and it looked great. I think it was a cheaper, lower tier Schecter, I think is what it was. And I loved the paint job on it, though. It was awesome. And but man, when I picked that thing up to try to play, it just didn't have the mojo for me. It just didn't click. So I put it back on the hook. Let's see. Rico says that I have that exact model a few years ago. They play awesome. Oh yeah, the I call it baby blue. I don't know if that's just what I call it, but yeah, I love that guitar, and I did the little upgrades to it. That was just because that's just what I wanted to do, and it upgraded the post too, man. I know I always talk about that, but if you're going to upgrade the trim, you got to upgrade the post, because if you don't, it's all for nothing, man. It's all for nothing. Dale, hey Dale, he goes, I had to send my Charvel back, had shipping damage, waiting for a replacement, but it's gold instead of lime green. They said lime green is discontinued. Oh, okay. Had shipping damage. Man, I'm sorry about that, man. That's messed up. We got Slam RN is in the house. Hello. Whoops, I thought I hit the... Sorry. Slam RN, are you on duty this evening, or have you already done your shift? I was just curious. I tell you what, nurses, man, have an incredible. I have a lot of respect for nurses too. I mean, the few times that I had to go in for procedures or surgeries in my neck of the woods, the nurses that's who took care of me, man. And except there was one, I had a issue with that one lady. She was, oh, you're retired. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, congratulations on your retirement. That's awesome. You was a critical care nurse. Awesome. Okay. Oh, thank you. All right. Thank you for your service. I was just saying, 99.9% of my experience if I had to be at the hospital with nurses was fantastic. I just had one negative experience with a nurse, and that was like, man, I was like, oh man. But and the thing is, when it comes, I had a serious surgery, and that young lady that was the third shift nurse or whatever, and she started off okay. They're supposed to check on you, from what I understand, once an hour. And the first couple hours, she did what she's supposed to, and then after that, she never showed back up for like. I was laying in the bed. I kept hitting the help button because I was in pain. I was, and I was like, man, I need some pain meds. The stuff they gave me hours and hours earlier had wore off. I kept hitting that button and nobody never showed up. Nothing. And I could barely move. And I found a way to pull myself up on that gurney or whatever, that bed, hospital bed rather. And I saw something on the wall because of my glasses were over here on this tray. And I was like, well, I don't have my glasses on. I'm in trouble, So I get my glasses and I look on the wall and I said, what is that on the wall? And I saw like this digital little display on it. And it was some type of call box. So I made it over there finally, and I hit that button with my finger. And they was like, yes. And I can't repeat what I said, but anyway, and they come in there. Come to find out, the reason they never showed up was because the button, the controller, it wasn't hooked up. None of that stuff was hooked up. None of it was hooked up to the bed or to the outlet on the wall. Can you believe that? And then, so I was already pretty ticked off. And then the first shift nurse that came in, this was in, golly, what year was this? 2021, I think. Something like that. 2022. And she came in, and this lady, really sweet woman. She could have retired like probably 10 years prior, but she really took care of me. And I called her the grandma nurse because that's what she looked like. I'm not being. She was sweet and nice as she could be, but I thought to myself, oh my gosh, man. I thought, how come this sweet old lady's not retired? And I can't remember her name, but she came in on her to start her shift, and she came in there, and I had to lay on my left side. I couldn't lay on my back. I couldn't lay on my right because I had kidney surgery, and they had to go through my front section here with robotic surgery to get to my right kidney. I had kidney cancer, and they had to cut some of that out. And I got to keep my kidney, but I couldn't lay except on my left side. That was it. And my arms and everything my shoulders were hurting because my arm was up over my head. And they, what I didn't find out till later is they put a lot of gas in you to inflate everything so they can move around without messing up any other vital organs. That's what I was told. And I was laid up like that for so long, and there was still some of that gas and stuff in my, I guess, ligaments and between my muscles, and man, it hurt. And but that the grandma nurse, as I say, she come in there and she leaned over and she said, "Mr. Wentz, is there anything I can do?" And I was laying on my left side, so my back was toward the grandma nurse and the other overnight nurse, and of course the door to the room. And I pointed and I said, "Yeah, first thing you need to do is send that one back to nursing school." And that nurse, she turned around and walked out. The overnight nurse, she was PO'd, which I was like, good. And she goes, grandma nurse said, "I'm so sorry. What can I do to help?" And I told her. I said, "She has not been in here in probably 4.5 hours. I've been here hurting like crazy." And she went and got me the stuff I needed. She helped me, and it made me feel a lot better. So it's just like anything else. You got your good ones and bad ones, man. But yeah, it was that's why I don't want to go back to the hospital, because of that experience. Because I felt like I was just left to rot. I just I'll forget about him. And you can hear the overnight nurses at the station just laughing and clapping, and there's so many things I want to say right now, but I can't because I have to keep it professional. And I'm laying there feeling like I'm like, are you kidding me? And so anyway, it was crazy, man. It was a crazy time in my life. And I woke up. Well, I woke up. Hell, I never went to sleep because I was hurting so bad. But my wife texted me at like 7 that morning. And the first thing I told her, I said, "Bring me my pain meds." She's like, "Do what?" I said, "Bring me my pain. Bring me 3 of them." She said, "I can't do that." I said, "Yeah, you can. Put them in the bottle. Bring them with you when you get here. You can't take that. That's not safe." I said, "I'll tell you about everything when you get here." Man, my wife got there, and she come in the room after she got ready, and she got there, and she sat down, and because I could only lay on my left side, and I told my wife, "Oh man." But the grandma nurse was super sweet, and if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have got discharged later that day, because she went out of her way to make sure that I was comfortable. And so when I had to go back, and check this out. So that was in September of I think 2021 or 2022, something like that. So when I finally got healed from that, I had to go on Halloween day. I had to go have back surgery. I had to go back to that same hospital. And all that I kept thinking about was like, man, they better not put me on that whatever floor it was. I can't remember. And that's what it was in the back of my mind. I said, watch them put me on that same floor, and I'll get that nurse. She'll be able to get a revenge on me because I made a complaint about her. But luckily, that didn't happen. They put me on a different floor, and all those nurses were super professional and respectful and on top of their game. So. And that was Greenville Memorial Hospital for anybody that lives in this area. So it's a great hospital, but man, that one nurse, woo, that made me not ever want to go back, you know. So I'm always kind of gun shy, no pun intended, to go back for anything, you know. So, Slam RN, a nurse, he or she retired. They are retired. It says, haha, sometimes those third shift nurses are lazy. That one in particular was that I want to say that I dealt with, but hell, she didn't come in the room. Just left me laying there to suffer. And I was like, God almighty, man. I was like, what is this karma? What did I do? But, let's see. MPL. Hey, Joe, how's it going? Hello, sir. How are you doing? Thank you for being here on this Thursday night. Isn't this crazy? It's awesome. Get to hang out with my friends. Rico B, dang, that's a bad story experience. So good to hear you're on the other side of that surgery. Yeah, that was scary. Yeah, that was a serious surgery too. My doctor told me it was. He said it was, because I went in. Originally, I was going there to have my kidney removed because at the time they didn't know if the cancer had fully taken over the kidney or if it was, if it was something that just like, okay, we'll see. I had all these different x-rays done and man, they couldn't, just the way the shadow would hit or something. There was a big thing about contrast back then, that clear dye that they inject so they can see stuff on x-rays. When I first initially went to the emergency room, they couldn't use contrast because they said there was you can't use contrast unless it's an emergency. And I said, I'm in the emergency room. Does this not qualify? So, but anyway, it was just a whole crazy thing that happened. But they luckily they caught it and they cut the bottom part of my kidney out, and they had to cut the tube from my kidney going to my bladder, and they had to flip the kidney over and turn it this way, cut the bad part off, flip it back, turn it back over, and reattach the tube. And when I came out of surgery, I had 6 puncture marks here. Then they were all perfectly in line, 3 here and 3 there, and it looked like I got shot. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, that's what it looked like. And man, that was sore. I never felt anything like that in my life. Anyway, what's that have to do with guitar? Absolutely nothing. I get sidetracked with telling stories, and I'm sorry that went kind of far there, didn't it? But let's see. Oops, I gotta get Bloody's comment. It seems younger nurses go into nursing for the money. It wasn't like that when I went to school. Yes, Slam RN. Yeah, that's I don't know nothing about that profession, but that's the feeling I got with when I say grandma nurse. I don't mean no disrespect at all. When I asked her, I said, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been doing this? And she she said, would you believe I told you I was 75 and I've been doing this since I was, I don't know, like 18 or something. I was like, good God. And, but hey man, more power to her. Hell, she still might be working there. I don't know. I wish I could remember her name because I wanted to be able to send her like a thank you card or something because she made things so much better. And I cannot remember who she was. She might be retired now, but she was really the saving grace. So God bless nurses. Bloody Soup, I've had 6 kidney stones throughout my lifetime, and I thought I had it bad. Buddy, I'm going to tell you, my friend, kidney stones, that's a whole nother topic I could talk about for an hour. I started getting those kidney stones when I was 22 years old, and I've had all kinds. I've had, they were super huge. They had to go in there and bust them up. The doctor had to go and retrieve them and had to be knocked out. I've had so many procedures because of that. And then finally, I think the last big one I was in my current marriage now, and my wife had to take me, and they had to retrieve it, go out there, bust it up and retrieve it. And oh wait, that was years ago. So I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't had that since, but oh my God, that kidney stones are horrible, man. I don't wish that on nobody. And let's see here. Ted Fair, what's up, brother Ted? We're just chit-chatting, man. Chit-chatting about whatever. This is a free-for-all tonight. I am going to get into the topic of the video, the title of the video. And so that wasn't that wasn't clickbait. There's a reason for that title. And I'll get into that here in a minute. Bloody Soup, my brother's wife is a nurse, and she says the same thing. She's 55. And she's my age. Okay. Yeah, God bless nurses and teachers and firemen, police officers, military. Oh, your brother's wife says the same thing about the younger nurses. Slam RN says, Bloody Soup says yes. Wow. Yeah, I will say this, man. When I went to the emergency room the first time, like 5 years ago, when I realized something was going on with my right kidney, I felt like the oldest person in that building. Well, first of all, this is still when the pandemic stuff was going on, because I sat in that waiting room. I'm not kidding. This is no joke. I sat there for 6 hours before they called me back. Because the first time I went, the first time my wife went with me, and man, she was fit to be tied. She's like, this is bull. And I'm going to go talk to somebody. I said, there's nothing. Don't do that. Please don't do that. I said, it's just going to make it worse for me. I said, we just got to wait. After 6 hours, they called me back, and then I had to go again. I don't know, like a month or two later, and I waited 5 hours. So yeah, that was in 2021. So all that crazy stuff was still going on, and man, it was horrible. But let's see, we got is that Rachel? Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. Some nurses are bad nurses. I've had my share of them, Rachel says. Well, like I said in the story, I'm just glad that it was just that one negative. Everything else was fine, but it only takes one. Only takes one bad apple, they say, right? I mean, that's all it takes, and you're like, oh, man. So, let me see here. Ted says that, I remember when you were going through your kidney surgery, Ted says, you used to have a big-time problem playing your guitar due to the pain. Yes, sir, that is correct. When I was trying to heal from that surgery, I couldn't have no pressure on my mid-region here, nothing. I mean, And I guess maybe a week had passed, and it just got to the point where I could finally roll over on my right side. I mean, lay on your left side do it for 24 hours. Just lay on your left side only, not your back, not your right side, definitely not your front, not flat on your back, just your left side. Do that for 24 hours and see, man, golly, that hurts after a while. And, but yeah, after about a week, I was finally able to lay on my back, turn on my right side. And I came in here. I remember I stumbled in here like some old man, barely able to, like Tim Conway when he did the old man skit. If you're my age, you know what I'm talking about. I'm dating myself. But, and I came in here and I thought, and in my mind, I'm like, oh, I should be okay. You know, I don't know. At least I can sit in the chair. And I sat in this chair and I put the guitar on my lap, and that little bit of pressure, I said, oh my God. And I could barely get a guitar off the wall. I don't know why I even did that. That was so stupid. You know, but I don't know, man. It's just you get a little older and you think you can still, you know, oh, I'll be fine. You know, nope. So yeah, it's a different ball game when you get a little older. But yes, Ted, that's correct. I appreciate that. Yeah, I remember that very well. I was nervous, man, because I was like, am I going to be able to play again? You know, that's so corny to say that now. But I was going through so much pain and trying to get on the other side of that stuff. All I kept thinking about was playing. I was like, can I get back to I'm not kidding you. I prayed to God. I said, Lord, please let me get back to normal so I can play music again. Because playing guitar is the one thing that helps take the bad things away. If you play guitar and you love music, you know what I mean. And I prayed and prayed. And over time, it started to get a little better and a little better. And then I could come in here and I could put a guitar on really slowly, and it would lay here. I couldn't move. I couldn't like move around. I had to stay really still. And I got where I could play some chords, and I was like, oh, there's light at the end of this tunnel, you know? Yeah, man, it was crazy. So, you know, you don't think about certain things until you kind of experience something within that realm. And one thing that used to always wig me out, and I don't mean this in a bad way, it's just something that I would always put out of my mind until you go there and you're like, well, thank God I ain't got to deal with that. Well, maybe not right now, but maybe later you might. Case in point, here's an example. How many times have you been to a nursing home to visit somebody, or even if it was, you know, somebody you were dating at the time, or your spouse or whatever, and they said, we need to go see grandma, you know, or whatever. And I just always was like, oh man, I don't want to do that. It's just, I got this weird depressing feeling. And I was like, man, that is so sad, you know, but you go because you want to be the supportive, you know, spouse or whatever. See, my wife and I, when she had her grandmother lived to her 90s, I couldn't believe it. We were there was a couple of times years ago we went to Florida. My wife's from Florida, so shout out to Bradenton, Florida, or any Floridians out there. And the couple of times that we went, just for leisure, that was only like twice. All the other times we went because somebody passed away. That sucks. But I remember one time we went down there, and I think my wife's mother, my mother-in-law, I think she was still living. Yeah. So that would have been my mother-in-law's mother, I think. No, that would have been my wife's father's mother. So, yeah. So we went down there one time, and my wife said, I want to go see grandma. I said, okay. We go in there, and it's just a different different vibe altogether. I feel sad, and I'm like, man, this is, oh my gosh. It's like, have these people been forgotten about? I mean, but then you get older, and, you have to work. You got to pay bills. You got to do what you can do to make ends meet, right? And sometimes you just have to, so, what people have to do. But we went and saw my wife's grandmother. She was in her, I think, early to mid 90s, and she was sitting there at I want to say she was sitting there smoking a cigarette, and she still had her faculties about her. And I thought, my God, but it just felt weird going in there. But God bless people that work there as well. All right. Slam RN, she says, the last hospital I worked was in Lancaster, the Red Rose City. I am familiar with Lancaster, yes. Mr. Lloyd Dinkle, hello. Nice to see you. Slam RN, yes. I'm in Greenville County. Yes, correct. Yeah, the closest hospital here, not that, I don't know if you're familiar with the area, but right up here is, well, everything now, everything now is Prisma Healthcare, the whole thing. It used to be Greenville, what's it called? I forget what they call it up here, Greenville East Side. I can't remember what it used to be, but now, yeah. Yeah. Charlie S. Hey, Charlie, how you doing, man? Good to see you. How are you doing, sir? Now that I understand how this pop-out chat feature works, I can see the comments so much better. Last Saturday, I was having trouble. I was like, I cannot read this because I have the screen, the font on this computer is kind of small, so I can use all the features of EVMux, because if you make everything, enlarge everything, you can't do what you want to do. Now they have this pop-out chat feature, and I'm like, wow, I can actually see the chat now. It's so nice. But okay, let's see. We're just talking about whatever. Let's see. Bloody soup. Same thing with me, Joe. So many procedures. It's not a good time. No, it's not. It's not. It is not. It's I'm just thankful for every day, man. Really thankful. It's easy for me to complain and moan and groan about stuff, and then it just takes one little small thing to make you go, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Things aren't as bad as I'm making them out to be. Life is good, man, because it could be really, really rotten at the drop of a hat. But yes. Okay, let's move on. Let's see. Lloyd Dinkle says, I worked in emergency medical services for 22 years. You have good ones and bad ones, no matter what you do. Yes, sir. That's with everything. Yes, correct. You are correct. Yes. AJ Brown. Hey, man, how are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, I get it, Joe. I've been in a position where I wondered if my life would ever be the same again. The unknown is a scary place. It is. It is. Okay. Okay. Before I move on to some more comments, let me just intervene here, if you don't mind. The title of this stream, The Dark Side of Showing Kindness or Being Kind or whatever. So on my last live drive, I was discussing, I'm going to move some guitars out of here. And there's a couple of reasons why I'm doing that. The main reason is to make some room. I've just got way too much stuff, and I have to just move things around, and that means some stuff's going to have to go. Number two, the reason I'm doing that is because I would rather these guitars to go into the hands of people that either don't have a guitar, they can't afford to get a guitar, and where, you know, they'll never have one or whatever. That's what I'm doing. And so I just want people to understand that's what's going on. So it isn't like then I'm going to, y'all send me your address. I'm going to send. That's not what's going on here. So I just want you to understand what this is about. And it's not for any, I'm not looking for nothing. I want to do something positive. I want to, and the reason I say this is because when the young gentleman came here a couple of weeks ago to fix our heat pump, or heat and AC unit, whatever you want to call it, he displayed an enormous amount of honesty and professionalism that I just haven't seen in a long time with anything that you're paying money for. I mean, you can go to anywhere, any place of business, and it's just number one, things are just way expensive today. I'll get into that, another example of that I just found out earlier today. I was like, really, man? That's crazy. But anyway, so the young man that came here, in case you don't know the story, he really did us a solid, and it could have went the other direction, and we wouldn't have known the difference. Well, we would have known in our bank account, but he did a solid, man. And he said, "Oh man, no, you don't need this done. That's going to cost you $2,300. All you got to do is hook this wire up, and your unit will be back to normal." And he did that, and we had just had a lot of snow and a winter storm. A few days before that, maybe a week before that, we had a bad ice storm here. So it was not a good time in this area. It was rough. So I was so taken with the young man's kindness and honesty. I gave him a guitar, and I brought him in this room. It was a guitar that was hanging up there. Now that's the EVH Tobacco Burst Relic, but there was a Firefly up there, and there's nothing wrong with the Firefly at all. I still have some. They're great guitars. And I asked him, he saw my, I don't know what you call it, my channel emoji or caricature or whatever you call it. And it's got me playing the guitar and all. And he said, "Oh, do you play guitar?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Do you?" He goes, "A little bit, yeah. I have an acoustic, but one of these days maybe I'll get something better." And I done made my mind up. I said, "Here, come here, man." And I gave him that guitar, and it was just, it was just, he was blown away. He was just, he's like, "What are you doing?" And he was just, so I would like to do that for somebody else. That's what I'm going to do. And that's what the whole purpose of me with these 10 guitars that I'm going to put in other people's hands, whether it be one person at a time or whether it's one place, or if it's a few different places. I don't know yet. I'm trying to decide that. I'm pretty sure I'm going to start tomorrow because I have to move some stuff so I can go through some of the inventory back here, because there's a lot. And it's something that I'm like, well, I don't need to do it right. I got to move this other stuff. It's a whole big old hot mess. So once you start it, or once I start it, there's no sense in me stopping it until I, get to the part I need to get to. But that's the part. And I think some people, not, and I'm sure they don't realize it, but you just have to, that's why I'm not doing it I'm not giving guitars to people in the chat or subscribers. And it's nothing negative in that type of way. It's just, that's not how I was wanting to do this. I'm wanting to do it to where somebody, it might help them in a positive way. Music, playing guitar has done so much in my life. I mean, I could talk about that for hours. All the different stories that music has saved me in a lot of different ways, in positive ways. And I would love to be able to help somebody in that way. I'm not a rich man by no means whatsoever, but if I can give a guitar to somebody and they it helps them and puts a smile on their face, and they want to pursue it. There you go. All it takes for some people is that one little push. And yeah. And it might be in a positive manner. You don't never know, but that's exactly what I'm going to try to do. And it's going to start tomorrow. Let's see. Bill Frank, I had my middle ear replaced with plastic and cartilage. My neck at the time, I had tubes in it 13 times before that surgery. My goodness gracious, man. My goodness. Oh, man, Mr. Frank, I hope you're doing good now, man. Goodness. Ted Fair, I know I got to catch up here. Ted Fair, I can't believe my parents are finally selling their home that they had lived in since 1979. It's kind of sad, but the 5-acre lot around 3,000 square foot home is too much upkeep at 76 years old. I do understand that. Yes. When my parents sold their home, I grew up in Charlotte, and the home they moved into that home when I was 5 years old. So that was pretty much, that was where I grew up. You know, that's what I remember all of my youth until I moved out and got my first marriage. But they still lived there for a while. And in 2001, they moved and they sold that home. And I thought it was sad, but even my mom, she goes, we can't keep it up no more. It's just had an upstairs, downstairs, and, you know, it's one of them old houses. It was built in the 80s. It was whenever I don't watch it no more now, but I used to watch Stranger Things. Like the first 2 seasons were pretty good. They would be in the neighborhood that reminded me of my childhood. I said, yep, you can tell those houses were built in the 80s. And, yeah. Let's see. Slam RN. I am in, is that Northwest Indiana? Originally from Chicago. Nice. Okay. Oh, Rico, you landed. Oh, good, man. I'm glad you landed safely, brother. That's awesome. Yes. Nice. Mr. William De Silva, hello. How are you? Thank you for being here, man. Let's see. Thank you, Mr. De Silva. That's nice, man. Thank you. Mr. Bill Frank, he says, Joe, have you heard of Save the Children's Music? No, sir, I have not. I have not, no. Mr. Frank, you're doing great now? Okay, good. Good, man. That's great. Yeah, I have to, and I'm not saying this to be short with anybody or anything like that. I don't have a lot of time to research a lot of things, so I have to kind of just pick my spots, which are going to be close to the house here, really, to do what I'm wanting to do. And I have a couple of things in mind. I had some great suggestions from the live drive the other day, and some people said donate them to a school, which okay, but I wish I could, but I don't think that would be fair to the kids because there's only going to be 10 guitars, and I'm sure a music class has more than 10 students, and they're all going to be different guitars, and you know, so it has to go, you know, to some individuals or something. Like I said, nothing to do with the chat or the subscribers. That's not the point of what I'm doing. These guitars are going to go to people that are in need of one, you know. So I've had people in my life do something for me of that nature, and it just blew my mind. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to do that for somebody, and hopefully it'll help. You know, there's nothing wrong with showing kindness, but you know, just trying to stay on that track the best I can, you know. Dave Orkin, hey man, how are you doing? He goes, what did I miss? Oh, let's see. We're talking about surgeries in the hospital. We're talking about guitar stuff a little bit here and there. Good nurses, bad nurses, people that you got good people and bad people everywhere. Yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Let's see. Scott from South Carolina. Hello. When I lived in Maryland, I gave 8 guitars to the Music Cares program at Walter Reed for wounded soldiers to play. That is amazing. I love that. That's great. That is great. Yes. That's fantastic. Yeah. So I'm going to, in the next couple of days, some of these guitars are going to be moving out of here. And I can move on with what I need to do, you know, that because I'm kind of at not a crossroads, but I'm kind of at a roadblock right now until I can get this stuff moving. Then I can kind of continue with what I need to do, which is to possibly downsize, you know, not nothing dramatic, you know, it's not like, well, I'm getting rid of everything. No, that's not what I'm talking about. There's no sense in having, all this. I don't know, man. I just look at stuff different now. Within the past couple of weeks, I guess, maybe 3 weeks, my view has changed. And like I've mentioned before, you know, years ago, you couldn't talk me out of, if I'm constantly was on Sweetwater or AMS or Zounds or Reverb, window shopping, if you will. But if I saw something, I was like, whoop, boop, purchase, I got it. And then it's just, I would get that. And then you have the guitar for maybe, I don't know, a week. This is how bad it got for me. I had it for a week. And then the new, that brush was gone. So I'd get on there again. I'm like, well, no, let me just wait a little bit. And it would just take over. So I was like, I've done that over, you know, for quite a number of years. Some things were maybe small, maybe pedals. Well, I love pedals. Pedals are a cool thing to have. Some people like modelers, and I was kind of in that realm for a while, and then I went back to pedals and the Friedman IR-D. I love using that. More of a hands-on kind of thing. I like to twist the knobs. I think that's cool. So, you know, just what I've been thinking about, man. And it's going to happen. So, Mr. Curtis talking about surgeries in hospitals. Sounds like it's right up my alley. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Jimmy Z, what's going on, man? How are you doing? This thing is acting crazy. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're just doing this unscheduled stream this evening, folks. They told me I wasn't working tonight, and I said, okay. That is cool with me. So we'll just go live and you know, talk with the chat, right? Yeah, I hear you, Dave. I hear you, man. Let's see. Unfortunately, I can't do that. Yeah, that goes against of, you know, what I'm wanting to do. But anyway, yeah, I understand. And I was like that too. There was a guitars. I was like that. I was like, if I can get this, I'll have everything will be how I want it. Now I'm speaking just for me. All right, this is just for me. So I would get like these Charvels, man. I was getting them like crazy, and I was like, oh man, okay. And then after I had them, I was like, okay, what do I do now? Okay, I'll play them a little bit here and there. And then I would move on to something else. And it's nice to have the selection. It's nice. And I just said, well, you know, I don't think I can do this anymore. You know, it's just not. It's kind of I still love playing. I always love playing. I always love looking at guitars and all that. But the rush of getting one guitar here and there, and so many times a year, that has gotten dull a little bit for me. It's just gotten dull, and but I don't know. It's just, I can't explain it, man. It sounds really crazy, I know. But let's see. Jimmy Z, he says, I'm good, Joe. Hope you are too. Yes, sir. I am. Thank you. Actually, I'm on cloud 15 right now. My oldest daughter made her final college selection tonight. She's heading for Morgantown. Oh, is that, let's see here. Oh, is that West Virginia University? So excited. Oh, man, congratulations. Congratulations. No, dude, that's fantastic. That is so, I know you're proud. That's awesome. Slam RN says, I like an LP style guitar, but lightweight. Yeah, that's, I like LP style guitars too. A great one for, like I've talked about before, it depends on your budget. Everybody's budget is different. If you, I guess, if you have a large budget, you can shoot for the stars, but I'm not in that category. So, I tried the Leo James. It's the LP style and it has the flag paint job on the front. And it's pretty much an Epiphone level guitar. And I was really shocked at the quality for under $200, if that's what you're looking for. I don't know, but I have that, and I have, I think, 2 more LP style guitars, and that's it. One is behind me. I haven't got out of the case in years. I nicknamed it Dwayne because it kind of reminded me of Dwayne Allman. Not the same color, but in that kind of ballpark, I guess. Don't ever play it. It still has the paperwork in the case and all because the neck is just too chunky for me, but it's a great playing guitar. I mean, it's beautiful. And the other LP, it's an Epiphone Les Paul, and it's like a surf green color or something. I'll never get rid of that. My parents got me that guitar at a store years ago when I still lived in Charlotte. I was in my first marriage. We were living in South Carolina. I went to Charlotte to, I guess, visit my parents or something. And there was a store back then that was called Mars Music. And I remember I took my mom to a hair appointment. I remember this now. Took her to a hair appointment. I dropped her off. She was getting her hair all done up, She's like, I'll be a few hours. I was like, okay. I'm going to go to this music store called Mars Music. I said, I'll be back at whatever it was, 3:00. And I walk in, and they had like these display kind of pedestals, little columns. And they had those Epiphone Les Pauls on display things on the stands. And I still remember the price. They were on like this blowout sale. And they were $199.99. And I was like, golly, man, for a Les Paul, I know, yeah, an Epiphone, yeah, I know that. But I said, I've never had one of those. So I looked at it, and they had 5 on display. Some of them had the pickup covers were not there. So it's just the silver pickup covers, and the pickups were exposed. And I said, well, I want one with the pickups exposed. I think that just looks the coolest, and just for me. I was like, well, there's 5 of them here. And this is that thing, if Cameron's still here, I don't know. This is one of the times where it almost got away from me. But So I look at it and I'm like, man, I picked one of them up. I played it. And this particular Epiphone, the neck is pretty slim on this one. It's pretty slim. And it's actually really comfortable, really lightweight. And I played it and I put it back on the stand because it was just say $200, brand new, this clearance special, whatever. Again, this was Mars Music when that was a thing years ago. And so it's time for me to go get my mom, right? I leave. How old was I? Let's see. Back then I was, golly, let's see. I was, I think I was 30. I was about 30, 31 years old. And so I leave and I go, and my mom, she's getting finished up. I pick her up and she goes, well, your dad told us to meet him at such and such restaurant. Let's go over there and meet him. We'll eat dinner, then you can drive back home. Okay. We go over there and Dad meets us there and he looks at me and he goes, what'd you do today? And I'm sitting there thinking, they don't want to hear about my trip to the guitar shop. They don't, but I told him. He asked me, I told him. And I said, yeah, there's this cool Epiphone Les Paul. My parents didn't know nothing about guitars. They don't, but he sat there and he listened to me. And as I told the story, and he says, well, you know what? We might just go there when we get done eating. And I thought, what? I was like, somebody pinched me. What did he just say? And we got done eating, and my mom and I were and my dad was in his company truck. So it was my mom and I in their car, and Dad followed us over to Mars Music. And we got there, and I'm sitting there thinking, there's no way they're going to buy this guitar. There's no way. It's just not going to happen. I know it's just $200, but still, it's the principle of the matter. My dad was always pretty tight with money. And so we walk in, and when you first walk in, like I said, there was 5 display stands, right? Little podiums or whatever. And there was 5 of those guitars. When we went back, there was only 2. One had the pickup covers on it, and the other one didn't. And I said, there's only 2 left. There it is. So I grabbed it. And Dad said, is that it right there? And I said, yeah, this is it. He's like, what is that? So I'm trying to tell him, right? And then my mom went and picked out this strap, which that's the first time she ever done that. She got this strap and it had like a, I don't know, like geckos on it or something, lizard or something, but it had the same kind of color scheme that matched the body of the guitar. And so, yeah, they bought me that guitar, and I've had it ever since. And so I'll never get rid of that. Don't play it a lot, but it's comfortable. It still has all the original little things on it. But yeah, it's I still remember that day, man. And I was like, wow, I can't believe he's buying me this. I mean, I would thought that they had bought me this really pristine instrument. That guitar was great for what it was, $200. After I learned how to set guitars up, I got that one and set it up, and I still got it. I'll never get rid of that one. But yes, a lot of fun, man. Just great memories with guitars through my life. Made such a huge difference for me. Lone Rocker, hey man, hey Joe, I know what you mean. It's a blast to get a new guitar, but once you have some guitars you really like, you realize that a new one is cool, but it doesn't blow away what you already have. Yeah, I think that's what I'm getting to in this point in my life. It's just, I've bought many guitars throughout my lifetime as an adult. Some were really nice. Some were mostly what I have is mid-tier, and then I have my share of like, oh man, why did I waste my money on this? But so once you've been doing it, playing guitar for a while, and you buy what you are interested in, you start to stick with that. You might venture away from it for a little bit, but you're going to come back to it and say, no man, I don't know why I bought this whatever brand. I'm going back to Fender. I'm going back to it, whatever insert name brand that you like here. And for me, it's always going to be like Fender, EVH, Charvel. That's where I feel good, with those brands. That's what does it for me. And let's see. Let me see here. We got Scott from South Carolina. My two daughters graduated from West Virginia University in Morgantown in advertising. We got in-state tuition through the academic common market since Maryland didn't have an advertising program. That's fantastic, man. That's fantastic. Very nice. Let's see. Hey, Cater, what's going on, man? How are you doing? They make a Gibson Les Paul ES. It's a semi-holly, good Lord, semi-hollow body LP, so lighter, I think, about 6 or 7 pounds. That's nice. That's interesting, man. Very interesting. Hey, Cater, hope you're doing well, my friend. Art, he says, hey, Joe, Arthur here. What is the brand that let you down the most? Ooh, man, that's a great question. That let me down the most. Okay, I would just for me, just with the guitars I have, there's been a couple. And this is in no particular order, okay? So this is just from my little bit of experience having guitars and buying guitars. And like I say, the older you get, the more you play, the more familiar you get, the more time you put into these instruments, and you look back and you think, oh, yeah, I thought that guitar was really cool back then, but now that I understand how the mechanics work and, weight and setups and all, you're like, that guitar wasn't as what I thought it was. It wasn't as good. So in no particular order, I would have to go in. First, I would say my second guitar I ever had, I've done a video on this channel about it. It's a BC Rich. At the time when I got that guitar, I played my high school talent show with this. I still have it. Guitar, at the time, I loved it because of a guitarist named Tony McAlpine. I don't know if y'all know who that is or not, but Tony McAlpine was in the guitar magazines back when I was in high school. He had the cool hair, and he played BC Rich like NJ Strat guitars and had that cool headstock. The headstock was the thing that caught my eye with the BC Riches. And the reason why I say it let me down, now that I can look back on that guitar all these years later, the trim system on that thing was horrible. And it weighs like a boat anchor. It is so heavy. And I'm glad I have it. If it wasn't for my son, if you haven't heard that story, I did a video on that a while back. That was the guitar that I left behind in my first marriage, and I thought that guitar was just gone. And actually it was. And it got sold, and my son tracked it down about 4 or 5 years ago, and he gave it back to me at Christmas. He bought it from whoever had it, and put all new electronics in it and gave it to me for Christmas. I was like, what? So I was reunited with that guitar after many, many years of figuring it was in the landfill somewhere. But I'm glad I have it for sentimental reasons, but that guitar the quality is not that great. After I did some research on it, after I made that video a couple of months back or so, I found out that line of BC Rich was the lower tier of that particular NJ series line. It was very low tier. Well, I didn't know that when I was 17 years old. I just saw the headstock and I thought about Tony McAlpine, and I was like, oh my God, that's what Tony plays. And I put it on layaway at a store called Reliable Music all those years ago. And I was working a part-time job after school, and I kept going up there every week, putting money on that layaway to get that guitar. And I finally got it. And, I thought, again, that feeling, you're like, yeah, man, this is the stuff, But yeah, that guitar I look back on is disappointing now because it just the quality's not there. There's a guitar I have again from a long time ago. It's called GTX. It's got the snakeskin paint job on the front. Years ago, I thought that was a great guitar. It is not. The trim, I did a video on that. I think it's the video I did is when I played at the Charlotte Motor Speedway or something. I think it's the name of the video. I talk about that guitar in that video. That guitar is, it was just one of those mass-produced Chinese guitars. GTX is a part of Ovation, I believe. Yeah, it says it on the headstock. It's a subsidiary of Ovation, I think. But it looked cool, but the quality is horrible. That let me down, that guitar. And this is, of course, years later after I understood what's going on, with how all this stuff works. Let's see. What else has let me down? There's been some low budget guitars that I bought that I don't even remember the names of them. They look cool. I bought them and I was like, this was years ago. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, I remember there was this one, it was on eBay years and years ago and I bought it. And it looked just like a Jim or a Jim Jr. Now I didn't have a Jim Jr. at the time, but I got one of those and it was horrible. It was just a piece of junk and I sent it back. Luckily, I got my money back. And then years later, I got a Jim Jr. and those are still fantastic guitars. And for the money, it's great. But yeah, there's been a few guitars that let me down. Yeah. A couple of them wouldn't stay in tune no matter what I did. Decatur says, yeah, he's doing good. That's awesome, man. I appreciate you being here. Liquor Master Flex. Hey, what's going on? Art says, a buddy of mine got one of the Ibanez AZ standards today. It was surprisingly really good. Great feel to it. Highly recommend one. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I love Ibanez. There was only one Ibanez that let me down. Whoever it was that asked me that, I'm sorry. I still have it. It's an Ibanez. Was it called Geo? Ibanez Geo. Yeah. It's like a hardtail. It's that guitar, man. It let me down. And I love Ibanez guitars. All the other Ibanez guitars I have are great. They're fantastic. But that one there, I don't know. It just doesn't do nothing for me. I guess because it's just, sometimes, especially years ago with guitars, you get what you pay for. And now it's a little bit different. I mean, you can get the Firefly Bones guitar for what, $269, which I have that. I mean, it's the knockoff of the Lynch Bones guitar. It's it is what it is, but it's not bad for $269. It ain't bad. Things have come a long way with budget guitars. A long way. Long way. Jimmy Z, Tony McAlpine rocks. Yeah, I remember Tony McAlpine. Yeah, it was he was the reason why I wanted to start to get that BC Rich, man. Let's see. Bill Frank. Joe, have you ever seen or played a Charvel Jack Butler in the red Sandemus? I've seen them. Yes, I have seen them. And oh man, that was years ago when I saw it. I mean, when they released those. And I was just on the edge of ordering one. And let's see, wasn't that Jackson, I think? Yeah, because he played a Jackson, I think. One of my favorite movies of all time, Crossroads, the head cutting duel. Of course, we're all guitar players here. We all love that movie. I remember when I first saw that, I was like, what the hell is going on? Very cool. But I haven't played one, but I have seen them. They were, to my recollection, which is not very good, my memory, They had those for a limited time, and then they were gone. So you could probably find them on Reverb. I bet they go for a pretty penny. But yeah, I always thought that was cool. And then when Steve Vai's playing, you notice the headstock, the name's covered up, or it's just not there, one or the other. But yeah, still, I love that movie. Timeless movie, man. They call me Willie Brown. I saw that man. What's his name? Joe. His name was Joe Ortega or something. No, is that right? I might be wrong on his name. That the gentleman that played Willie Brown in Crossroads. I went out to my wife. She just got back home a couple of days ago. But before I left for work, I put the TV on, like YouTube TV, and let it play. So my cat in here don't go crazy with silence. You know, she got some background noise. I know that might sound crazy, but it's just what I do. And I got ready to leave, and that show In the Heat of the Night was on. Y'all remember that show in the 90s? Carol O'Connor. And what's his name was on there that played Willie Brown. He was a guest on that show. And I looked and I said, that's Willie Brown. Oh, yeah. Crazy, man. Let's see. But yeah, the Jack Butler guitar, yeah, awesome, man. Fantastic. I wish I could have played one. Let's see. Joe Seneca, yes, thank you. That's, yes. Thank you, Scott from South Carolina. That's it. You looking at him? It's me, Willie Brown. In the flesh. He gave Ralph Macchio hell in that movie. I like the part where Ralph Macchio is trying to talk him into record Robert Johnson's Lost Song, and they're going down the hallway, and he plays a lick, and he goes, how does that sound? Willie goes, sounds like bird. Bleep. I said, dang. I laughed my butt off at that, boy. Remember the part where he gets up out of his wheelchair? Ralph Macchio goes, you can walk. And he goes, where I come from, if you ain't got no car, you don't get no Oh, that's such a great movie, man. Oh my goodness. Okay. Jack Butler, yeah. Art says, my buddy paid $5.50. It's the 2 humbucker with transparent black flame maple. The roasted maple neck has a lot of flame in it too. That thing is beautiful, and it only needed a little setup. That was the Ibanez that he was just talking about. Yes, and it's the AZ. Did you say AZ? Art? Let me go back up. Let's see. Got one of the Ibanez AZ standards today. Okay, yeah, I have to look those up. Well, I can look at it, but I ain't gonna do nothing about it. But I'd like to see it. Those new, speaking of Steve Vai, when he released his new, as Ibanez Pia models, have y'all seen the one that's black with gold on it? I saw them, I think it was on Facebook or something. Steve Vai put Jack Butler cut heads with Midas and won. And the gold Pia Ibanez, it was beautiful. I said, oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, Joe Seneca played Willie Brown. Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right, man. Yeah, I love those different quotes from that movie, man. I love that. Scott from South Carolina. A blues man always carries a pistol. That's right. That's right. Oh, man. Yeah, that was great. What's her name? What was her name that was in that? What's her name? She was in that movie too. I can see her face. I can't remember her name. She was always just a gorgeous woman. I think she was in the Lost Boys too. Yeah. But yeah, she was in there. How they was all, that was in what, 86, 87 when that movie came out? Great movie, man. I've had that movie on VHS, man. Crossroads, that is, Ralph Macchio. And and later on DVD, and now I don't have neither one of those. Now it's just on digital, but yeah. Let's see. Yes, thank you, Scott. Thank you, Jamie Gertz. Thank you. Yes, yeah. Uh-oh, we're gonna do some quotes from Crossroads. Here we go. Art G says that brings up the subject of favorite music movies. Almost Famous, another good movie. That is a great movie. I haven't seen that in a long time. I have not seen it in a long time. That is a great movie. Hey, Rod. Hey, Joe. I got the Tremolo yesterday. Going to go on the Firefly this weekend. Awesome, man. Good. I'm glad you got it. Awesome. Yes, sir. They got there quick. Man, that's good. Yes, Jamie Gertz, yes. Bill Frank, a quote from Crossroads, you stay on your side of the street and I'll stay on mine. I want to say he said, you white folks do y'all business on that side of the street and we'll do our business on this side of the street. And I was like, uh-oh. I like when Ralph Macchio goes into the bar and he's got that was the corny thing when I look back at it now. He's always got that guitar with that pig nose amp everywhere he goes, like he doesn't ever take it off. I'm like, dude, come on, man. And he walks into the bar and the guy goes, what can I get you, Sonny? He goes, whiskey? He says, it'll be $2.50, friend. And he goes, how about I play a song for the drink? He goes, I'll stand you that drink. Then you haul A out of here. Oh, man. Let's see. Yeah, favorite music movies. Yeah, that's GRB Aquatics was a great one. There you go. Eddie and the Cruisers. Come on, man. I love that movie. Hey, GRB. How you doing? Yeah, that was a fantastic movie. Yes. Yeah, let's see. Let me scroll back up. Everybody's chiming in with their favorite music movies, which is fantastic. Mr. Curtis, hey man, he says, have any of you ever seen a cheap copy of an EVH 5150 Stripe guitar? I like to have a 5150, but I don't really want to pay, $1,500 to $1,800. I have, and believe me, I'm just speaking. I haven't bought one, but I have seen the cheap ones. I've seen them actually. I seen one of them in a store I went to, and it was one of the copies, and it was bad. It was bad, and I was like, ugh. Jimmy Z, he chimes in with his favorite music movie. He says Detroit Rock City was killer. Yeah, man, wasn't that in the 90s, late 90s? I barely remember that movie. Bill Frank, Heavy Metal. I never have seen that one. Yeah. Let's see. Ted Fair chimes in. I always thought Eddie and the Cruisers 1 and 2 were great guitar music movies. Yeah. And good luck trying to find those movies now. I don't know what the deal is on those movies. I've tried to find those on digital, and you cannot find them, man. They're you can find them on DVD. 2, I wasn't crazy about 2 that much. 2 was kind of, for the time, it was okay. But when I look back on it now, oh man, it was cheesy. But 1 was the best. Eddie and the Cruisers one. That first one was the best. That was awesome. And here I go. I'm going to blank. Michael Paré. I remember his name, the actor, Michael Paré. He did a fantastic job of lip syncing or miming John Cafferty vocals. It was just, I was like, man, you could tell he's really singing because his veins would pop in his neck. I was like, man. And when I first seen that movie all those years ago, I said, yeah, he's singing that. I said, I didn't know that guy could sing like that. I remember him from Michael Perret. I remember him from a show in the 80s when I was a kid called The Greatest American Hero. Now, I'm showing my age now. Talk about some old TV show. I used to, like I said, Superman was my favorite superhero when I was a kid. And then The Greatest American Hero was kind of a knockoff of that, where the guy, he found the suit from this UFO, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know. But Michael Perret was one of the students in the class, and I always thought he was cool. And I always liked him. And there's a movie, it's a good music movie if it doesn't really concentrate on guitar, but it's got Michael Perret in it. And oh man, is it Diane Lane? Is that her name? Or am I saying her name right? I don't know if I have that name right or wrong, but anyway, it's called Streets of Fire. That's the name of that movie. That's a classic. I love Streets of Fire, man. It's just really good movie. It's kind of a dark movie, but it's really good. Got a lot of good of that 50s rock and roll doo-wop or whatever you call it. And Michael Perret is in it. He's a badass in that movie. He's really good. Let's see. Jimmy Z says 50,000 watts of power and we're pushing overload. Yeah. Sammy Hagar, Heavy Metal. That's a great song. I love that song. Old Sammy, still kicking, man, at his age. Isn't that something? That's amazing. Absolutely incredible. Jimmy Z, Rockstar was good. I enjoyed Rockstar. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on that movie. I know Ralph enjoyed it too. I really enjoyed that movie. It kind of gave you a look on the other side of the curtain in a way with that type of lifestyle. And plus that Jennifer Aniston in it. Come on, man. I mean, but yeah, that was Rockstar. I enjoyed the movie. Yeah, I really did. Eddie and the Cruisers. Yes, absolutely. Dave Workin says, I love Eddie and the Cruisers. Yeah, me too, man. Yes. Jimmy Z says, I love The Rocker too. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that one. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, Firefly. They did have a EVH copy for a while, and then I don't know if they still sell those. I don't know. I think they quit making them, but you can find them on the used market. But they're people that I've seen, and I mean, they're asking like $600 for those things. I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't want it that bad. You know, AliExpress has some. They do. Actually, I got I call it the EVH Fakie. It's the Frankie Relic Wannabe. It's really similar to where am I going? To this here, and it was from AliExpress, and it was I got lucky with that. It turned out really good for the money. I did do some upgrades on it, very mild, but the experience was good. That was the only time I ordered from AliExpress. I did a 3-part video on this channel. You can look in the playlist and look at that. It's probably a few years old now, or at least 2 years old. And but my experience with that was good. I was really skeptical about ordering it. I was like, man, I've heard a lot of horror stories about AliExpress and people getting these Chibsons and all, and I just never cared about getting a Chibson. I just not the Les Paul style. You know, I heard a lot of bad things about those people wishing they hadn't have done it. But anyway, to each their own, right? To each their own. Dave Orkin chimes in, Heavy Metal and Heavy Metal 2000. Yeah, I haven't seen either one of those, but I heard they were really good. Mr. Curtis, Detroit Rock City came out in 1999. Okay, thank you. I was curious. Yeah, I thought it's been a while on that one. Yeah. Whoops. Let me see here. Let me see. Scroll up, see what Jimmy Z, see what he's got to say. Jimmy Z says, all you need is a body and a neck, body painted the way you like it, relic or not, stripe placement, etc. My advice is order a cheapo with the paint job you want and build it out. I've done that twice, yeah. The first one I did, I called it the Bumblebee wannabe or whatever, tribute model. It was the paint job was horrible. I had one guy comment on the video where I'm showing how to replace the trim system using that guitar, and the thumbnail is the Bumblebee, the one that I bought the body and the neck, and I just painted it myself in the paint job. And I've said before, that is not my forte, but I tried it. Somebody commented on that video and said, if I was you, I'd return that guitar. That paint job is just absolutely horrible. I said, dude, I didn't buy the guitar like that. I didn't have the heart to tell him, yeah, I painted it. Thank you. I had to laugh when I saw that comment. That guy thought I bought it like with that paint job on it. I was like, dude, I know I wear glasses, but I'm not that blind. But that's what I did, just what Jimmy said. I bought bodies and necks and built it my way and put nice pickup in it and a good Floyd system and a great neck, and there you go. The paint job sucked. I wasn't good at that, but it was just, I said, well, I'm going to try it, a couple of times, and it was just for my own personal entertainment, Let's see. Jimmy Z says, even the neck, you can replace it if it comes in bad. Yeah, I did that exact thing. I ordered that, I think it was a kit, and a Kramer knockoff kit I ordered, and the neck, it was I threw it in the trash. It was horrible, man. It was bad. So I ordered a neck from, not Warmouth, whatever. It wasn't there. It was, I'm drawing a blank. Mighty Mite. That's where I got it. The necks from Mighty Mite were great. And put it together, and of course I painted the body and I did my my attempt at the paint job. But you know what? The paint job's horrible, but that guitar plays amazing. And I'm proud of that guitar, man. It plays great. And but that was funny. That guy's, I'd return that if I was you. That is just horrible. That paint job, whoever done that is horrible. Okay. Dave Workin, he said, I just watched The Greatest American Hero not too long ago. Yeah, I used to watch that when I was a kid. Like crazy, man. I watched the heck out of that show. What's her name? So you had the main character, what was his name? Ralph Hinckley or Ralph? I can't remember. But what's his name was the detective? Oh, man, come on. And there was the woman that was his girlfriend, the teacher. Was it Connie Selica? Was that her name? It's been so long, but man, she was gorgeous back then. But yeah, that's just what we watched when I was a kid, man. You didn't have but 3 or 4 channels, and that's what you watched. Greatest American Hero, The Incredible Hulk, Dukes of Hazzard, The A-Team, Knight Rider. I never got into Magnum P.I. I never could get into that. All those shows, man, growing up. It was just, I don't know, it was different time back then. Art G says that his favorite music movie is The Blues Brothers. It's a classic. Yes, Scott from South Carolina, that is a great part of Streets of Fire with remember Streets of Fire when Michael Perry and William Dafoe have the fight with the sledgehammers? Yeah, that is a fantastic scene, man. I remember when I saw that for the first time, I said, oh my God, can you imagine getting hit in the head with that thing? You wouldn't get back up. Okay, Ecater chimes in. He says, whoever was looking for EVH 5150 stripe, that's 2020 for $925, $85 for shipping. and they have a make offer option. It's on Reverb. That's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. That's a great deal. Yeah. Yes. Let's see here. Bill Frank says The Doors, Val Kilmer did an amazing job playing Jim Morrison. Yeah, I heard that he really, rest in peace, Val Kilmer. I remember when hearing years ago when he did that movie, he was really into that character. I mean, he was like in character mode like a lot during that. Yes. Let's see. We're moving right along. I will get to your comment here in just a second. Hold tight. Lone Rocker, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. That was great. Yeah. That was a great movie. Keanu Reeves. Hard Rock Lion 72. What is going on? He goes, what's up? I just dropped in. Oh, man, it's an open forum tonight. We're talking about your favorite music movies. We're talking about buying a cheap guitar compared to a high-end guitar, if you know, whatever your budget is. Man, it's just wide open tonight. Whatever the chat, we're talking about, whatever chat wants to discuss here, but we're also doing like music movie quotes and all kind of stuff. You know, let's see. Oh my gosh, Ted, I can't believe you said this. This movie is an absolute classic. Ted Fair says the movie Rush with Jason Patrick, Greg Allman, Sam Elliott had some cool guitar playing scenes. Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. I love that movie. And I actually found the DVD of that movie on the, I don't know what you call it, the black market or whatever. Somebody had a copy of it. It was years ago, and I have the DVD somewhere. And the only DVD player I have in this house is one that you can charge it up and take it with you, a mobile DVD player. You can flip the screen up. That's the only DVD player I have. But that is a fantastic movie. I love that movie. And Greg Allman plays a badass in that movie, man. Just the way he would look at the camera. He's like this drug kingpin or something. Man, it's hard to find that movie on digital. I haven't tried looking for it in a while, but if it was available right now, I would buy it. And if Eddie and the Cruisers was available right now on digital, I would buy it. No questions asked. And yes, that is a great movie, Ted. Thank you. Rod says on the Guitarist Garden website, they have the purple FFMN models right now. Those are great guitars for the money too. Yes. Do some slight upgrades on there, man, and you are on your way if that's something you're into. Let's see here. Guitarist Garden. Yes, sir. That's correct. Guitarist Garden. Yeah. Jimmy Z, Joe the Rocker, old washed up 80s drummer whose band went big, but they had to ditch him due to the label guy's nephew. He couldn't make it in society, but he comes back. Oh, okay. I have to check that out, man. Oh. Let's see here. Lone Rocker, he says that Stevie Salas? Am I saying that right? Did the guitar playing when George Carlin was soloing at the end of Bill and Ted. Steve Salas had a great album back in that time period. Nice. Okay. Yeah, there was some. I remember having that soundtrack on cassette, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or whatever it was. I remember there was a song by Winger on there. It was great. I can't remember what it's called now. I think that song by Kiss was on there. God Gave Rock and Roll. I think that was on there. Steve Vai had something on there. That whole album was awesome, I thought, at the time. Damn, that was a long time ago. God almighty, we're getting old. Well, I am, at least. Ted Fair chimes in, I love the movie Roadhouse with guitarist Jeff Healey. Rest in peace, Jeff Healey. How in the world he played like he did is beyond me. That is just incredible, his talents. And here's a cool fact about Jeff Healey that I didn't know until wasn't that long ago. As you may or may not be aware, Jeff Healey was the guitar player in Roadhouse. He was blind, but later in life he had a baby, a son, and when his son was born, he was blind. But then he had an operation because things had advanced. I guess he got that from Jeff, his dad. It went to the baby, but they were able to correct it when the baby was little, and he got surgery and that he could see. And I thought, oh my goodness, I was glad it ended on a good note. But that was something that was pretty wild. But Jeff Healey, incredible. GRB Aquatics. I bought an AliExpress EVH track pants, expecting normal cotton. Spandex arrived. Whoa, my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Let's see. The Week Show. Hello. He says, be excellent to each other. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Bill and Ted on VHS was my whole childhood. There you go. Yeah. And my favorite music movie growing up, I haven't seen it in the chat yet, so I'll say my favorite was Purple Rain. That was my favorite. Oh my gosh, man. That, talk about soundtrack to someone's life. You know, that's the thing I love about music is, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, we all have the same frame of mind, I believe, in here, but there's certain songs you hear, man, it takes you right back to a certain moment in your life. Purple Rain was a big deal for me. I used to, when my parents had a place at the lake where they ended up going to when they retired. They lived there for a while up in North Carolina. And every Friday, it was like clockwork. Every Friday when I'd get home from school, Mom and Dad would get home from work, we go to the lake and we stay there for the weekend. And back then, I had a Sony Walkman. Well, it was a knockoff. It wasn't the original Sony Walkman. It was a knockoff by a company called GPX. And same thing, just different manufacturer. And put my AA batteries in there, and my dad had the radio on some goofy music that he liked back then. And I'd have my headphones on and I listened to that Purple Rain cassette soundtrack, movie soundtrack, all the way down. And it didn't take long to get there from Charlotte. I think it took like an hour and 20 minutes, and we were there. But it was when we got there, I loved it because that was a big part of my life, was going to the lake. That a big part of my life. We started going there when I was 10, and I kept going there up until probably my 40s or something, late 30s, or on a regular basis, probably early 30s. But anyway, so I'd listen to a lot of music like that going on that road trip every weekend. And then you get to the lake and you go up there. This is in the mid 80s, right? Right in the mid 80s. You go into they had an arcade up there. You go in there and they had a jukebox, okay? That had actual 45 records in it, not CDs, 45 records. And this was in 86, because I remember 5150 had just came out, the new Van Hagar album. And the singles they had in there for that album, they had Get Up was on there, Summer Nights, Dreams, and Why Can't This Be Love. Those are the 4 singles in that jukebox from that album. So you go over there and put a quarter in or whatever in the jukebox, and you go up there, man. This is right in the mid 80s. Go in there, people are shooting pool. You know, you put money in your 4 quarters to shoot pool, whatever it was. People putting jukebox, and there's all these other kids my age that are from different places, different states. It was the perfect time. And then they'd have live music next to the arcade in the stage right there. And it was just a perfect time to be alive, man. Man, it was awesome. Fantastic. But let's see. Jeff K, hello. He says Clapton did the soundtrack for Rush. Yes, he did. Old Slow Hand. Let me see here. Let's get to these comments here. Thank y'all for being here so much. Mike, he says, my high school guitar teacher used to say, you can do a lot with a little or a little with a lot. It applies to so many things. Hey, I like that. I like that. Let's see. Scott from South Carolina. Did you ever see Beer Fest? It's a classic drinking movie where they go to the drinking contest at the Oktoberfest in Germany. No, I have not. I have not seen that. That's funny. Bill Frank, Spinal Tap. And this is Spinal Tap. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Kevin Newman, that's excellent. And I just watched this last weekend. La Bamba. Excellent movie. Yes. I love that movie. Can't believe I forgot that. Yes. Thank you, Kevin. Let's see here. Art G, he said, I saw Jeff Healey in concert. He was great. Yeah, I remember he played alongside Stevie Ray Vaughan with some shows, and Stevie Ray was just floored. God almighty. Being able to hang with Stevie Ray on stage, I mean, that just, let alone with Jeff's handicap, but good God, that's incredible, man. I was just like, good Lord. That guy was the whole package, Jeff Healey. Of course, SRV as well, God rest their souls, but that's incredible. Neck Diver, hello, man. He goes, the Pick of Destiny. Yeah. that was pretty good. I like that. That was all right. It's pretty good. Jack Black is funny, man, but sometimes he can just be a little too much for me. I'm like, dude, just take a breath. You know, kind of like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's funny, but damn, he would just, it's like overload, you know. I was like, easy does it, man. Just my 2 cents. Bloody Soup, yes, La Bamba and Walk the Line is the movies I like. Walk the Line was a great 't yes, that was really good. Oh, that is another great movie, Scott, from South Carolina. I got that on DVD somewhere where somebody copied it. Light of Day with Michael J. Fox and Joan Jett was an excellent movie. Excellent. Thank you, Scott. Wow, y'all are incredible in this chat tonight. Yes. Are you serious? Art says, looks like the movie Rush is on Tubi. Are you serious? Oh my goodness. Thank you for that. Oh man, I need to check that out later. Oh man, that is a fantastic movie. Yes. Let me see if I can get this chat to move. Let's see. Here we go. Let me see. Yeah, whatever movies y'all like in the day or recent or whatever, throw them out there. Yeah, thank you, Art. That's awesome. Let's see. GRB Aquatics says that 1990s rock band movie, Satisfaction, Justine Bateman, and the all-girl. I barely remember that movie. I used to have a crush on her, man. She was from Family Ties. When she was on that show, she was tough, man. I used to have a crush on her. You see what she looks like now? I was like, oh my goodness. But yeah, back then, yeah, she was a fox. Ted Fair, I love the show Miami Vice, incorporated MTV era songs in the TV show with guest appearances from Phil Collins, Glenn Frey, and Gene Simmons. I didn't know Gene Simmons was on Miami Vice. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's another great one. Y'all were throwing out some excellent movies. We'll get to it. Let's see here. Here's another one. Roadhouse, Jeff plays through the fight scene. Yeah, he does. Yeah. The name is Dalton. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Oh, man. Let's see. Jeff K. I'm laughing because a buddy of mine, I remember years ago when Roadhouse came out, a buddy of mine pointed something out to me toward the end of the movie that he laughed about. It's not funny, but it is funny. Okay. And he said, he said, you won't be able to watch this movie the same after I tell you this. This is what he told me. I said, what? What are you talking about? He said, you'll laugh every time you see it. And I was like, what? He said, toward the end where Patrick Swayze and his girlfriend, the nurse, run to the water to go skinny dipping. And Jeff Healy's sitting there on the strumming his guitar, just smiling. He said they're running, to the water. It's not funny, but it's funny. I was like, why did they put that like that in the movie? That's kind of messed up, man. That's kind of mean. But and when he told me about it, I laughed. I said, that is pretty funny. I said, man, let's see. Roadhouse, still a fantastic movie, though. I love that movie. Jeff K., the song remains the same. That Thing You Do, the Buddy Holly story, so many flicks throughout the years. Yes. Yes. There you go. Yeah, That Thing You Do, The Wonders. I love that movie. I bought that not long ago, the extended cut. Man, it's like 2.5 hours long. I love that movie. I love that movie. A great soundtrack too. Bohemian Rhapsody is another fantastic selection. NPL. Yes, that's awesome. That is great. Yeah. Rudy Sargoza Music. Hello. Zaragoza. I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing your name. School of Rock, Rockstar, The Dirt, The Doors, yes. Fantastic movies, man. Music movies, yes. Okay, you're gonna flip out when I tell you this. Scott from South Carolina, let me read his comment. I saw Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, the movie. I never saw that or The Wall. I never saw those movies. And I just, for me, I was like, nah, I just couldn't get into that. But that's just me. But yeah, there's so many movies from the soundtrack of our youth, and man, there's so many songs. I mean, man. Like, let's say, let me say this. There's going to be a bunch of answers here. Going to be a bunch. But what's one song that comes to your mind that, like maybe you were going on a blind date, or you were going on a date with somebody that later became your spouse, or a very exciting moment in your life? Can you think of one song that you can relate that to? I mean, it could, on a positive note, I can think of a few. That's another thing I love about music. It can make you go, man, I remember that. I'll start off. I remember, let's see. That, and this just takes me to a memory in my mind. All right. It's just like opening a book and you go to that, oh, okay. And then you turn some pages and you go to another part in the book. It's just my history. It doesn't mean anything. It's just my history. But I remember being at my first prom in high school, and one of the songs that played was a slow song called Second Chance by 38 Special. Being on the dance floor on that song. That was a beautiful song. That's what was going on when that song was popular. It's just one of those things. And let's see, what's another one? Actually, that same Yeah, that's weird. That same prom. Going to the prom, there was a brand new song that was coming on the radio. This gives you the timestamp of this year that I'm talking about. I remember heading to the prom, and it's just coincidence it's the same person. But going there, and that With or Without You by U2 that was a brand new song, and that was playing on the radio. Going to the to the country club, it was in Tega, South Carolina. It was why in the world did I went to school in Charlotte, Mecklenburg, but they had the prom in South Carolina at a Tega country club. Why'd they do that? That's so weird. Huh. Now that I think about it. But yeah, that's just two examples. Let's see. Let me see. Let me scroll up. I don't want to miss anybody's. Jimmy Z says Amadeus, another time, of course, but it's still relevant and amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Jimmy Z, that girl, she broke me. The song was Brickyard Road by Johnny Van Zant, but the girl, OMG, I still think about her. That was a great song. I remember that song, Brickyard Road. That was a great song. Yes, fantastic. Isn't it? That's the only reason I'm bringing this up. The power of music is incredible. It's just my memory as I'm getting older is getting worse and worse. But when I hear a song from some whatever point in my life, it will bring me back to that moment like crystal clear. And I'm like, yep, I remember doing this, or I remember doing that, and I remember where I was at, and I remember who I was with. It's incredible. It's so powerful, man. It's just like, wow. Let's see. Scott from South Carolina. What is one song that you remember in your life that is a positive note, or maybe a romantic note, or whatever you want it to be? What's that one or handful of songs for you? Scott from South Carolina, Talk Dirty to Me. Used to hear that around the time I was getting married. Yeah, that was what, 86, 87? I love that song. I've played it on here a few times in the past. I love that song. I can remember, speaking of memories with songs, I remember I was working, I was in high school, and I was heading to work, and it took me a little while to get there. I lived in North Carolina, but I worked in South Carolina, which was, now I think about it, that was weird. But anyway, and I remember heading to work. I was in my 87 Chevy Cavalier, man. It was summertime, had the window down, and it didn't come with AC, and it wasn't part of the features back then. You'd pay extra for that, so it had just a regular heater. But anyway, this in the summertime, I got the window down, got me a Marlboro Light, and I'm driving. It was a 5-speed stick, and I'm driving, and I hear that intro, Talk Dirty to Me. And I'm like, at the time, I didn't know what it was. It was the first time I heard it. It was a brand new song. And I was like, who is this? And man, that song got me pumped up. And I did more research. And I was like, and there was that strip mall I worked at, there was an actual record store in there. Can you believe it? This is true. There was a record store in there. And there was a girl I went to high school with that lived in the neighborhood with Ralph and I. We all lived in the same neighborhood. She worked in that record store. And I remember I would go over there. We all went to the same school and all that shit, like I said. But I'd walk over there from time to time. Not all the time. She was just a cool chick. And really cool chick. And I'd walk over there and I said, man, have you heard that song? And I was trying to tell her. She's like, yeah, that's a band called Poison. I said, who? She goes, Poison. Goes, the album's right over there. And I go, oh, okay, cool. And I look and I'm like, is this it? Is this them? Yeah. And I was like, Okay, I didn't know it was a all-female group. She goes, no, you need to look again. Anybody else do that? I did. The very for the first like 5 seconds when I looked at that album cover, I thought, but phenomenal album. Look what the cat dragged in. Oh my God. Rod says, Comfortably Numb. Joe, you should play that one. Oh man. That's a great solo. That is a great solo. All right, we're talking about favorite songs in your life, man, that bring back memories for you, that make you really can stop you in your tracks, you know. GRB Aquatics, Cliff Richard's Wired for Sound. Okay. I just want to hear what y'all have to say with the song selection. It makes me, I love to hear people's, or to read people's stories. I think that's awesome. You hear mine all the time. I don't ever get to hear y'all's or read it. I don't know why I keep saying here. RG, for me, songs that came out during the summer stuck with me. Yes. Speaking of summer, Boys of Summer, Don Henley, always loved that song. Yes. Let's see. Dave, is that Dave Case? Am I saying that right? Stand By Me, lots of memories for me. Hey, that's great, man. Now, you mean the movie Stand By Me or the song or both? I don't know. I remember my dad having that 45 single. And then the movie that came out was incredible. Am I getting this right? I might have some stuff mixed up. Let's see. Whoops. It just moved. Okay. Ted Fair, he says that for him, Summer Camp 1984, listening to Round and Round by Rat. That song still rocks. It does, man. That's a fantastic song. My son can play that song. I can't. I was like, there's way too much going on in that song for me, man. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bill Frank, the first song I ever learned was Black Dog by Led Zeppelin. That's a great song. I try to play it. I struggle with it, man. But it's a great song. I got the backing track. I need to work on it some more. Get it in the song selection here. Is you got to be on the timing's got to be right on that for me. That's where I screw up. Let's see. Jimmy Z, he chimes in. He says that the first thing that hit me with Poison was the weird guitar tone. It grew on me some. Not my favorite band, but yeah, it hit when it came out. Yeah. I love the guitar tone on that album. But yeah, it's I've always liked them all through high school. That's all you saw was Poison. Guns N' Roses came out in 87? And then when that, I just never was a big fan of Guns N' Roses, but yeah, here's some more. Let's see what some other songs people are talking about for their soundtrack of their life. Jimmy Z, this is great. Heaven by Warrant always hit me. Takes me right back to those days. I love that song. Yeah. Got a picture of your house. Yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful song. Bloody Soup, he says that awesome soundtrack on Stand By Me. Yeah, I know they are old. That's okay. It don't matter, man. It doesn't matter if it's old or current or what. It doesn't matter. Let's see. Ted Fair, a song that reminds him of a time of his life was the junior high school dance Alan Parsons project, Eye in the Sky. There you go. See, he hears that song, takes him right back to that moment in his life. That's really cool. Rudy, Zaragoza Music. Deacon Blues reminds me of my dad. We played it at his funeral. I'm sorry. That's the Way by Led Zeppelin as well, and Show Me the Way by Peter Frampton. Great songs, man. Yes. Fantastic. Absolutely. Man, y'all were knocking it out of the park tonight, man. I appreciate this. GRB Aquatics, Boys of Summer was written by Mike Campbell from Tom Petty. Yes. Yeah, and I didn't know Mike Campbell played guitar on that song for the longest time. I didn't know. I just knew that, I mean, those guitar parts that Mike Campbell does, it makes that song, man. I mean, that's just, it's like, dang, man. It's just phenomenal. I love that. I love that song. Damn. Saw that video all the time on MTV when I was coming up. I know y'all did too. Scott from South Carolina, he says Mama Ken was one of my favorite Aerosmith songs. They would crank it in concert. I never got to see Aerosmith in concert. Yeah, I never got to see them. But I'm sure they were fantastic, yeah. Oh, okay. He took it to Mike Campbell with Boys of Summer. He took it to Don Henley and he added to it. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's see. Kevin Newman, Angel in Centerfold, my second date, good song and a hot day. Oh, Jay Giles Band, Centerfold. My blood runs cold. Memory is just my soul. Angel in the Centerfold. I got that backing track, believe it or not. I love that song, man. Hell yeah, that's a great, I mean, heck yeah. Sorry. That's a great choice, Kevin. That's a fantastic song. Yeah, I love that song. Oh, they had, let's see, Centerfold. What was the other big hit Jay Giles had? They had two big hits. Centerfold was one, and drawing a blank. I remember those videos on MTV back in the day, as we old folks say. Jimmy Z chimes in, Van Halen, Why Can't This Be Love? As I'm waiting for news. We didn't really know, only had rumors. The local station played it while I was in bed one Saturday morning. I heard it laying there and freaked. Yeah, Why Can't This Be Love? Amazing song, yes. 1986, yeah. Yeah, when that 5150, when that album came out, yeah, it blew my socks off, man. I still love that album today. It still holds up. I think they're remastering that along with some other Hagar era albums, I believe. Yes, Jimmy said, and then when I heard Dreams from 5150, I double freaked. Yes. Oh, Bill Frank talking about Black Dog by Led Zeppelin. That was a song he learned. He said it took me 4 years to learn. I can believe that. That song, golly, there's a lot going on with that song. And I saw an interview or read an interview with Jimmy Page. He said that they made that song, or he made it difficult on guitar on purpose because they didn't want people covering their song or covering that song. I was like, dang. So he made it tricky on purpose. And I was like, really, man? That was what I read. I was like, man, that's crazy. But anyway, let's see here. Jimmy Z, he says, growing up with very young parents and in the black seat of the little car we had going everywhere together, Beach Boys and the Beatles everywhere. But the Beach Boys is special to me, especially in the summertime. Yeah, my parents, I remember they had I was a teenager. I was probably maybe 15, between the ages of 12 and 15. They had this one Beach Boys album and had Barbara Ann on there. It might have been a greatest hit, I don't know. But I remember there was this cut on the album where they're in the studio. I guess they didn't know the producer had the tape rolling. And they're just in the studio talking and cracking up, just being themselves. And somebody brings in like lunch, and they brings in like some burgers and some shakes, and they're going through the bag. You hear the bags rustling open, and they're like, "Hey, man, that's my shake." They're just all talking and just, And I used to listen just to that, like there was some kind of studio outtake or something, and I was just like, "Wow, they're they're just regular people, you know. But I just remember hearing that when I was a kid. I was fascinated by that. I don't know why. I was like, why is this on an album? But I always thought it was cool because it was different. I don't know, it reflected real life. But I remember being really young and hearing that, and I was like, that's interesting. Don't take much to amuse me, apparently. Let's see here. Ted Fair, he says, Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits. The whole album was amazing to listen to while going fishing and camping with friends and family. Yeah. Yeah, man, that was I remember when that was all over MTV. Money for nothing and chicks for free. And for the longest time, I didn't know that was Sting that sang that little "I want my MTV" line in the beginning and all that, and the drums. And, you know, hearing all that, and I was like, who is that? What is that? And I didn't know that was Sting for a long time. And I always thought it was cool how they put that in there. Rudy says, I like Silent Lucidity by Queensryche. It's one of my favorites. The Rain song by Led Zeppelin is another. There you go. Yes, Jay Giles Band, Freeze Frame. Thank you, Bloody Soup. That was the other one I couldn't think of. Yeah. Centerfold and Freeze Frame. That is correct. Yes. Yes. Great songs, man. Such a great time in the 80s. Perfect for music and movies, and great for making memories, man. Scott from South Carolina chimes in. I got stopped on my motorcycle for a missing plate. Uh-oh. 2 Tickets to Paradise was playing in the cop car. Are you serious? Oh, man. Isn't that something? How you hear that song, it makes you think of that, of being pulled over. Wow. That is something else. Yes, Freeze Frame. Yes, thank y'all very much. Yes, thank you. Freeze Frame. Fantastic songs, man. Let's see. Bill Frank, Y&T, Summertime Girls, Spring Break, in Daytona Beach. Such a great time. You know a song that just popped in my head that reminds me of that, of my youth? What was that one? Oh, come on, man. What's his name? Oh, John Fogerty. When he had that song, Centerfield. Remember that? He was actually using somebody made a guitar out of a baseball bat. He had that song, Centerfield. Remember that? And, man, I love that song. And there was another one called, Rock and Roll Girls, I think, was off that album. That was his comeback, I think, was that 86, 87? And that was like his comeback. And I love that song. Centerfield. That was a good song, man. It just reminds me of when I hear that song, it gives me good vibes. Like, oh, yeah, I remember that was a great time in my life. Let's see. Scott from South Carolina, Jay Giles, House Party, Centerfold. Last time. Must have got lost. Yeah, there we go. Rod, Freeze Frame. Yes, thank you, sir. That is correct. Yeah. Let me scroll this up. Man, this pop-out chat makes things so much easier to read. Like I was saying earlier when I was trying to read the chat last Saturday, I didn't know the pop-out chat, this feature, it was brand new. I didn't know you could do this. Now I can see everything now. Doing it the old way, I was really trying to strain to see everything and trying to line the chat up with what I was wanting to read. What is hard to do too, but now it's easy. Bloody Soup says, "Or Love Stinks." That's a great song. Yes. Yes. Let's see. Let's see. Super CMO 79 working at Radio Shack, and a customer played Right Now on a keyboard. Really? Dang. That's impressive, man. That's impressive. Man. Slam RN. Anyone else had a difficult time getting the strumming Down to a Horse with No Name. I've never tried that song, but yeah, I'm sure it might be. It could be challenging, I guess. It just takes a little practice, I guess. But yes. Oh, Mike says Rain Song is hard to play. So is 10 Years Gone. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, some of those are tough. Yeah. Yeah, Love Stinks, Rod. That's right. Yeah. Man, y'all are knocking this out of the park, man. Let's see. That's a great one right there. Let me see. Man, y'all are. Whew. Let's see. Scott from South Carolina, Jay Giles, Freeze Frame, Love Stinks, Give It to Me. Okay. Scott from South Carolina, we were talking about Money for Nothing, how Sting sings that on the intro of the song. Scott says Sting was recording on the same Caribbean island as Dire Straits, so they got him to sing that part on the LP. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Is this Dave Case? Is this right? I hope I'm saying that right. I used to stay up late to watch Dave Letterman just to see the musical guest. Yeah, there you go. Dave Letterman, Johnny Carson. Man, yeah. Great. That's a great time in the 80s, those shows. They don't make them like that no more, and I'll tell you, sometimes I'll pull up those old episodes of Letterman and Carson just to watch, just because that's the way I remember it. The way the stuff is now, man, it's a joke. It's not even worth watching. I don't know what happened to late night shows like that, late shows. That's just ridiculous. Let's see. Hey, Rex McGee, Mr. McGee, he goes, hey, Joe, I just chimed in. I was busy tonight. I'm going to catch up on the chat. Well, thank you, sir. Yeah, we're just having a good old time tonight. It's just wide open tonight. Talking about favorite songs that, music, movies, favorite songs that remind you of certain times of your life, of the good old days when, whenever. Okay, MPL, thank you, man. Let's see. Food Ninja had a blowout right as Welcome to the Jungle came on the radio. We don't listen to GNR in the car anymore. I hear you, man. Oh, wow. Okay. Scott from South Carolina. John Fogerty played center field in an empty Dodger Stadium for his 75th birthday. That's awesome. I think he's still going strong, man. I got his book, his audio book. He narrates his own book. It's been a while since I listened to it, but it is a really good book. Everything he went through with CCR and how him and his brother were in CCR together, and then his brother quit, and him and his brother didn't get along, and they never really had a chance to make up. His brother passed away, and John Fogerty got a really bad record deal, and he was losing a lot of money, and he is about getting his rights back for his music. It's a great book. Incredible. I was glad he was able to come back from that stuff, man. User Kid, hey, man, how are you? Thank you for being here. And Joe, if no one else has mentioned it, what about Steve Stevens playing the guitar on the Top Gun theme song? His playing with Billy Idol is also awesome. Check out Billy Idol live at the Hoover Dam. Yeah, Steve Stevens is incredible. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Jimmy Z, look at me, I can be center field. Yeah, man, that's a classic in the summertime. Also in the movie Bull Durham. Yeah, it is great. Yeah. Let's see. Bill Frank says baseball's about to start up. That's what I listen to, or it's my go-to. Yeah. That's cool, man. Interesting. Let's see here. User Kid, he says, I saw Steve Stevens when he played with Vince Neil. I had that album Exposed, back in the day. Vince sucked, but Steve Stevens was awesome. I saw them when they opened for Van Halen in 93. Yeah, and I remember Eddie gave Steve Stevens a PV Wolfgang special. Yeah, I remember seeing that in the magazines. I thought, whoa. Because was it a PV? Or it might have been the Ernie Ball. It might have been the Ernie Ball Music Man's. Yeah, I think that's what it was. The Ernie Balls, yeah. Let's see here. Ted Fair, he says, every time I hear Rosanna by Toto, amazing song, it reminds me of driving my dad's truck when I was only 11. You can't get away with that underage driving these days. 11? Wow. Yeah, Rosanna, I love that. Come on, man. That's a great song. And I didn't know for years that was dedicated and written for Rosanna Arquette, because the keyboard player was dating her at the time. That's something else. Boy, I tell you. I wonder how many times she's had to hear that song or hear a story about it. I bet she got tired of that. R&G, I used to play the Rain song on acoustic. It was a bizarre tuning. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Bloody Soup. Yes, sir. Thank you. You have a great night as well, sir. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's a great one here. Jimmy Z, the great Eric Carmen's Hungry Eyes from Dirty Dancing soundtrack. Even for an old hair rocker, that's a great vibe song. When it comes on, it takes you back to 89, 90. Yes, it does. And Patrick Swayze, when he sang She's Like the Wind, that's amazing. It's amazing. Yes. Okay, Rod, thank you. Yeah, I know everybody's going to bed, man. We'll stick it out as long as y'all want to. You know, whatever y'all want to do. It's up to y'all. Fogarty, Scott from South Carolina, Fogarty is 80 and he's still on tour? He's still touring. Good gosh. Well, that's good for him, man. Good for him. That's incredible. Oh, yes. Yes, Bill Frank. Excellent choice. Excellent choice. The Tube, She's a Beauty, makes me think about my first girlfriend. I love that song. I got that backing track. That's fun to play with. That's a great song. Steve Lukather on guitar. Yeah. Jam Pro Sound. Hello. He goes, hello from Boise. Hope everybody's doing well. I hope you are too, man. Thank you for stopping by, man. Spending some time with us. Jimmy Z. Oh man, She's a Beauty. Yes, incredible song, incredible 80s vibe. Yeah, you know who wrote that song? This will trip you out. I'll see if y'all know. Yeah, that's a crazy. Let's see. See if anybody can answer that. Let's see. Jimmy Z, he says that, fun fact, Steve Stevens is also an incredible flamenco player. It's one of his things. And yeah, I saw him on the Van Halen tour when he played with Vince Neil. I thought they were a killer opening act. Yeah, he is an incredible classic flamenco player. Yeah, he's amazing. I've seen him do that for his guitar solo spot with Billy Idol a few years ago. Somebody put it on Facebook, and I was like, why is he playing an acoustic, man? What is he doing? But man, he tore it up. I was like, okay, you go, Steve. Let's see. Mr. Rex McGee chimes in. He goes, this reminds me every time I hear A Hard Day's Night, I saw A Hard Day's Night at the theater when it came out, and I was sitting with a bunch of screaming girls. There you go. That's awesome. Yes, absolutely cool, man. Let's see here. Jam Pro Sound. Steve Stevens owned one of 2 gold-plated frameless guitars. My friend Gary in Nashville owned the other one and sold it. He regrets it to this day. Wow. My goodness. Okay, I had to double check this. I was like, what is Pooh saying? Okay. Fogerty used a Bogner for his clean tones. So loud, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Is that Bozo K or Bosno K? I don't know. I'm sorry, man, if I'm not doing that right. The Tubes, not sure who actually wrote it. Oh, She's a Beauty. It's oh man, it was the lead singer. I think Steve Lukather had a writing credit, and I'll have to look it up right now. I used to know right off hand. Man, what in the world? Let's see here. Let me check this. All right, according to Google, the songwriters for the 1983 hit She's a Beauty were the Tubes, Fee Waybill, David Foster, and Steve Lukather. Oh, man, yeah. So they got a pretty penny from that. Yes. Man. Fee Waybill. What a... Oh, Rico B, you sent me that. That's just like what I have, that same guitar, yeah. That Charvel. Very nice, man. Very nice. Yes. That's, yeah. Man, this chat had just jumped. I didn't see. I'm sorry. Let's see. Okay. Oh, that was John Fogerty's amp. That was a big monster amp, but just a clean channel. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Steve Lukather and Fee Waybill and that other person. You looked it up, Scott? Yeah, I did too. I knew that the Fee Waybill, I couldn't remember his name, but I knew the lead singer, him and Steve Lukather. I couldn't remember the third. Yeah, there we go. David, yeah. That was a huge, when I hear that song, that's one of those for me that it's just such great vibes. And I'm like, damn, what a great time to be alive, man. With all that fantastic music, hearing it on the radio, man, going down the road, got your girl by your side or whatever, man, and you just, it's on a summer night, man, and the stars are in the sky, and you're just, man, it's like, where did all that go? Now all I do is work. That's all I do, man. But, you know, enjoy life, man, however you can. User Kid, Joe, get Steve Lukather on your channel. I'll email you a list of 1,000 questions to ask him. Oh, man. I got to hand it to Steve Lukather, man. When the pandemic was going on, he was on anybody's YouTube channel, and he let anybody interview him. I was like, oh, my God. And I think that might have rubbed Eddie Trunk the wrong way, man. Eddie, that for some reason, that got under his skin. And he's like, I don't know why he's doing that. Well, dang, Eddie, not everybody can be like you and have a big radio show. I mean, come on, man. It's the one time they're going to have somebody huge on their channel to interview. Let them have that moment. I mean, I like Eddie Trunk and all, but I thought I was kind of disappointed when I heard he was kind of rattled about that, about Steve Lukather just going on anybody's YouTube channel and doing interviews. I was like, why not? It was the pandemic. You couldn't go anywhere and do nothing. So, but I'd be honored to have him on here. But I think he's had his fill of that. doing that on being on people's YouTube. I would, but if some stroke of luck, whatever to happen, I would, it'd be an honor to have him on. He seems like Steve Lukather seems like such a down to earth person and just a cool dude. And it seems like you have to have the reputation of like a Rick Beato, which Rick Beato is amazing. I love Rick Beato. He's an incredible musician. The knowledge that man has is amazing. But it seems like you have to have that type of reputation to interview people of that stature. That's what it seems like to me. I don't know. But, that's just the way it goes, man. Just the way it goes. Let's see. Kevin Newman, Cherry Pie. Oh, Sweet Cherry Pie was a good feel-good song when I was young. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Frank. I appreciate it, man. Yes, thank you. Jimmy, Eddie is a poser and a professional. Yeah, I mean, I can appreciate his for music and everything. I can appreciate his appreciation for the music and stuff. And but I don't know. I was just shocked when that thing about Lukather. I remember him saying that I actually heard him say on his podcast one time that that kind of rubbed him the wrong way. I was like, dang, man. Okay. It is what it is. What are you going to do? But so many fantastic songs throughout my life, and I got to a point to where I stopped. This is going to sound like an old man right here. I'm getting to be an old man, but I got to a certain point in music, and that was it. I said, I'm going to listen from this point to this point, and that's it. I don't go outside those boundaries, because to me, the other stuff that's out there is just not, I don't like it. I listen to the music that makes me feel good, that takes me back to that time in my life, and that's what I stick to. That's what I stick to. I can pull up the songs I have on my YouTube music app right now. I can go over some of these songs just to give you an idea of what I like to listen to, right? YouTube Music. If you don't have the YouTube Music app, download it. You can create your own song list, playlist. It's free. You don't have to, there's no ads or nothing. I'm just going to read some of these off, all right? Let me go to library, songs. Okay. So I'm just going to read some of these off to you. I know you can't see that. Affair of the Heart, Rick Springfield. Weezer's cover of Africa. An Englishman on Holiday by a group called Thunder that Andy Taylor of the Power Station and Duran Duran fame, he produced this group called Thunder. They were awesome. I'm reading you my music library that I have that I like to listen to, just to give you an idea of what I like. Behind Closed Doors by Charlie Rich. Bridge of Sighs cover by Steve Lukather. Build a Fire by Driving and Crying. Bust a Move by Young MC. Catfish Blues, Jimi Hendrix. Cigarettes by King's X. Crazy Joey by Joe Satriani. The cover of Dead or Alive, the Van Halen song, Steel Panther. They covered it. It's incredible. Dare You to Move by Switchfoot. Digital Display by Ready for the World. Now, I talked about Ready for the World in my live drive a few days ago. I was talking about Old Sheila, and that's one of the songs off their debut album, Ready for the World. It's called Digital Display. That song's great. Dogman by King's X. Don't Dream It's Over, Crowded House. Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone by Glass Tiger. These are these songs that I love these songs. Don't Talk to Strangers by Rick Springfield. Driving My Life Away, Eddie Rabbitt. Edge of a Broken Heart, Vixen. Escape, the Pina Colada song, Rupert Holmes. Hey, it's in my library. I love that song. Every Time You Go Away, Paul Young, which was written by Daryl Hall, I think, of Hall & Oates. Fly Me Courageous by Driving and Crying. Fooled Around and Fell in Love, Elvin Bishop. Let's see. Whoops. Girl School, Brittany Fox. Another favorite of mine. Goldilocks, King's X. Hard Habit to Break, Chicago. Hard to Say I'm Sorry by Chicago. Head Over Heels by Tears for Fears. Heart and Soul by Huey Lewis. Heaven in Your Eyes by Loverboy. Heaven's Trail, No Way Out by Tesla. Heavy Metal by Sammy Hagar. Hell on My Heels, Bullet Boys. High on You by Survivor. Human Touch by Rick Springfield. So you're starting to see the theme here? All this here? It's, I Can't Hold Back, Survivor. I Can Never Take the Place of Your Man, Prince. I Love a Rainy Night, Eddie Rabbit. I Want to Go Back, Eddie Money. I Saw Red, the acoustic version by Warrant. And it goes on and on and on. These are just some of the songs in my playlist. I mean, I'm No Angel by Greg Allman. If You Don't Know Me By Now by Simply Red. Remember that? Fantastic song. If You Needed Somebody with Bad Company, that's when they had the other singer. Little Susie by Tesla. Love Is on the Way by Saigon Kick. So anyway, that's some to give you an idea of what my playlist sounds like. Let me see. Ted Fair says, I assume Rick pays money to have all those big name guests on his show. I don't know. I couldn't say. I don't know. Oh, God. User Kid, I saw this on YouTube the other week about Eddie Trunk. User Kid says, Eddie Trunk is so dumb. Satchel called in and asked him about Steel Panther, and Eddie trash talked the band to him. Didn't know he was talking to Satchel. Yeah, people can say what they want about Steel Panther. I love Steel Panther. I don't care what people can have their own opinion. That's fine. But those guys are incredible musicians, man. And yeah, if it's a parody of the 80s hair days, so what? It's still, to me, it's kick ass, man. That's what you don't see anymore in today's music, what they're doing. You don't have to put wigs on and be like that, but that's how it was for us growing up in that time. That's how that kind of music was. And that was what was accepted at the time. And that was when you had music like that and that type of band, that just meant party. Good times, man. And yeah, the chicks liked it too. I remember those days going to them shows. Yeah. If you're my age or around my age, 50s or, late 40s, 50s, late 50s, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Go to a coliseum or auditorium. Yeah. You see what's filling up them seats in there. And I was like, whoa, man. So, yeah. Let's see. GRP Aquatics. Tone Loc is the only rap I can handle. Super cool guitar riffs, though. Yeah, they were. Yeah. Let's see. Jimmy Z. Wow, what a bunch of amazing songs. I love those same songs. Thank you, Jimmy. Yeah, man, that's just part of my not playlist, but I guess library. Let me check this out. Jimmy Z says, Joe, check out a band called Company of Wolves. The song Everybody's Baby floors me every time I hear it. Early 90s band out of New York. Okay. Thank you. User Kid, he says, and to finish up Joe's playlist, New Kids on the Block and NSYNC. Oh my God, please no. The boy band thing, oh God. Man, no. Oh, that drove me crazy. Scott from South Carolina. Driving My Life Away is another great Eddie Rabbitt song. Yes. Yeah, that's a fantastic song. Yes, it is. Kevin Newman, maybe you can get Sirius 80s in your truck. I used to do that. I used to be subscribed to Sirius XM, or I guess it's Sirius now. I did that for a while, and they kept jacking up the price, and then so I canceled my membership. This was years ago. This wasn't like no time in the recent past. No time recently. This was years ago. So so I canceled my membership, and they was like, they kept sending me letters in the mail. You know, get a month free if you do. And I was like, nah. So what I did this like 6 different times, and they finally caught on to what I was doing, and they blackballed me after this. So I can go ahead and talk about it now. It don't matter. But what I did is I made up a different email address, and they had a promotion at the time. Again, this was years ago. They had this promotion. If you were brand new, they'd give you, back then it was called Sirius XM. They'd give it to you for 30 days free. So I would, and you didn't have to pay anything. They would, you downloaded the app on your phone, and so that's how I listened to it. I used to have the actual radio. I get it from the truck stop all them years ago. Put it in my rig, and I got away from that, and then I downloaded the app, and I connected to the, with an aux cable to the stereo in the big rig, and listened to it in the truck. So I made up an email, signed up, I get it for free. So I'd listen to it for a month. And when that month was up, right, cut it off. I'd make up another email address and then repeat the process. And I did it like 6 different times. So I had it for free for like 6 months. And then they somehow know they caught on. They caught on to it, and they blackballed me after that. Yep. Sure enough. But yeah. That was how it happened, man. That was so I had my share of that back in the day. Thank you, Mr. McGee. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You too, sir. Jimmy Z. I'm a sucker for a good 80s and early 90s ballad. I love ballads, man. Yes. Especially like you said, like Warrant, Heaven, and oh man, all those ballads of that time period. I love that stuff, man. Journey, come on, man. Oh, you remember that group Bad English? They had that song When I See You Smile. I got the backing track for that too. I love that song. That was huge. That was like a super group, man. Had John Wade on vocals, Neil Schon on guitar, Jonathan Cain, keyboards from Journey, and I can't remember who the drummer was, but Bad English. I think they had a couple albums. I think they had 2 or 3 albums. I know that first album was huge. Yeah, I love that. That was amazing. I'm a sucker for that too, Jimmy. Yes. Let's see here. Ted Fair, have you guys ever seen the documentary Heavy Metal Parking Lot? It's hilarious. Filmed at a 1986 Judas Priest concert. No, I have not. That's interesting. That's awesome. Let's see. Scott says, make sure I'm doing this right. Do you ever play Hot Rod Lincoln? The guitar player, Bill Kirchen, was entertainment for a birthday party I went to. No, I'm not familiar with that song. Hot Rod Lincoln? No, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. Let's see here. Jimmy Z says, Joe, those songs from Chicago were amazing. Foreigner, Survivor, and yeah, all the AOR stuff. Man, that music rode on the clouds, just amazing. It wasn't it though? Yes. Yeah, it was just Oh, I didn't know that. Oh man. Okay, let's see. Let me look at this first. Dave Casey goes, Tesla had some great They did. Tesla, amazing band. Yes. They had some fantastic love song. Oh my God. They had some great songs. I love Tesla. I think my favorite Tesla song is probably Little Susie. I don't know, man. Talk about a song that gets me pumped up. I love that song. I seen them once, and believe it or not, we talked about it earlier. We were talking about different songs that take you back. We talking about Poison, Talk Dirty to Me, and all that stuff. When Poison went on tour for their second album, second album, I was living in Charlotte. They came to the Charlotte Coliseum, well, the old one. And Tesla opened up for him. And I remember at that particular time, I didn't know who Tesla was. I was like, Tesla? Like, I'm not familiar with them. I'd heard the name here and there on MTV way back then, but I never saw their videos at that particular moment. But man, we went to that show, me and the girl I was dating then, we were 8 rows back from the stage, man. So we was on the floor seats, and Tesla came out and opened up, man. And I said, I know what, tomorrow I'm getting their album. I went to that record store, like I told you, when I worked in that shopping strip mall in South Carolina. I went to that record store and got that album on cassette. And then Poison came out, and we left like before they played their last song. We left because I told my then girlfriend, we need to get out of here, because if we wait, we'll never get out of this parking lot. So we took off. And, yeah, it was a great, C.C. DeVille's fantastic, man. He's very underrated. I don't know about now. I know he was then. People gave him a lot of slack. I never understood that. And, but that show back then, all those years ago, was phenomenal. They put on a hell of a show, man. But yeah. Let's see. All right. Let me see. Okay, this is what I didn't know. User Kids said, we're talking about that group Bad English when they came out. Dean Castronova was the drummer for. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Thank you. He's also a member of Journey. Ain't that something? Let's see. Silent, is that Cypher? Wow, you do have a lot of guitars. Hey, man. I got a few, yes. Oh, yeah. GRB Aquatics, the full 4-hour Woodstock documentary is worth watching. Amazing soundtrack. Yes, I have that. I bought that. Well, it might not be the 4-hour. I know I had the DVD 4-hour version at one time. I think I had 4 DVDs in the thing, but I did buy the digital copy. I don't think it's the 4-hour. I think it's the more compressed version, if you will, condensed. I don't know, but I love anything about Woodstock. I love that. Not just that time period, and man, 69. That was a big deal for this country and music. You know, I love watching anything about Woodstock, as long as it's creatively done. You know, documentary. I love that stuff. Greasy Monkey Guitars. Hey, how are you? He goes, hey, Joe, I've seen Tesla when they opened up for Alice Cooper on the Constrictor Tour. Tesla was touring their first album. That's awesome, man. Let's see. Scott from South Carolina. Mississippi Queen, a classic song. I have 2 guitars signed by Leslie West. Pro audio star in Brooklyn, had some relationship with him. You have 2 guitars that are signed by Leslie West? Wow. I remember he put out a solo album not long before he passed, and I bought the digital copy. God, this was years ago. And it was really good. And, yeah, it was really good, man. let's see. Jimmy Z. He goes, I saw Tesla and Firehouse twice. Oh, great band, Firehouse. Right when Firehouse was breaking big. What a killer concert. Bill Leverty, amazing guitar player. Yes, absolutely. And what a nice guy he is. He had a couple of dealings with him, Jimmy says. Yes, and please forgive me, I'm drawing a blank on the singer's name of Firehouse. He passed. Was his name PJ? His initials PJ? I can't remember. I don't want to be disrespectful, but Firehouse, I think they were formed in Virginia, and they ended up relocating in the Carolinas, mainly Charlotte, where I grew up, and Firehouse was a big deal in that time period when I CJ Snare. Thank you, Jimmy. Yes, CJ. And Firehouse was a big deal when I was in the mid to late 80s for me. I always loved that first album. Was absolutely incredible. Was it a self-titled debut album, I think? Let's see. Let's move on. Silent Cypher, I believe. I checked out that music store, Music Go Round. Oh, because of you. I saw your video here on YouTube and made an hour drive. It's a nice store. Thank you, man. Thank you for checking out the video, and thank you for checking out Music Go Round in Rock Hill. Thank you. It is a great store, yeah. And they were very kind to Ralph and I. Herb at the Fireside Studio. Okay, I'm late. Dock my pay already. Hey, Herb, how you doing, brother? How you doing, man? We're not gonna dock nobody's pay, man. I'm just glad people are showing up. Man, I appreciate it. Yes, Firehouse lead singer, rest in peace, CJ Snare. Yeah, that was that first album, their debut album, was absolutely amazing. My God, I love that. I would listen to that, and Bill Leverty's guitar tone on that album was just monstrous. Even though they were more known for those ballads they did, "Love of a Lifetime" and "I Live My Life for You," I think was another one off another album. But I think that's what broke them on MTV was "Love of a Lifetime," I think. But that was just that era. But that album was, I remember All She Wrote, Lover's Lane. Oh God, that was just incredible. Incredible album. I loved it. Absolutely. Let's see. User Kid chimes in. He goes, Perry Richardson is from Myrtle Beach. He now plays with Stryper, which is another awesome. Oh, the bass player. Yes. I believe that's who that is, the bass player, right? The bassist, yeah. Ralph, the co-host of when we do the Saturday night podcast, J&R Talking Guitars and More. Ralph, that's one of his favorite bands is Stryper, yeah. And I remember when Stryper came out when I was in high school, man. There was and Ralph introduced me to them. He said, "Man, you need to check out this band Stryper." And I was like, "Who?" He said they look like some bumblebees and with their outfits. I said, "Do what?" And what was that? That big song because he had that album. Ralph had their album. What was that? "Calling on You," I think was the song. Calling on you. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was what it was. And when I first heard some of the songs off that album, I was like, "Oh my God," I was hooked, man. I was hooked. And then the videos came on MTV. I was like, "Oh man." What was that ballad they had that was huge on MTV? Stryper did. I think, was it Michael Sweet, the lead singer, just him playing a piano, and he sang, man, it was beautiful. I'm drawing a blank. It's been so long. But Honestly, I think was the name of the song. Honestly, I think that was it. And that's just Stryper's incredible. And Oz Fox, the other guitar player, I think. I remember a while back I think he had some medical issues with I think he got straightened out though. I'm not quite sure if it was like an aneurysm or something. I could be wrong. It was some serious issues, but thank God, I think he got straightened out. Because for a while there, he couldn't play and he was having to get taken care of. But yeah, those Striper's incredible, man. Yeah. Ralph introduced me, my buddy Ralph, if you know what I'm talking about. He, like I said, co-host of the podcast on Saturday nights with me. He introduced me to a lot of music, and when we were teenagers and stuff, a lot. And some of it, you'd probably be shocked, that some early rap stuff, before it got stupid, like it is today. But yeah. Yes, honestly, that's the song. Yeah, that was amazing. That's a beautiful song. Yeah. Let's see. Let me see. Jimmy Z, he says Michael Sweet and George Lynch have released some solid rock and roll too. They have, yeah. I couldn't imagine playing guitar with George Lynch. I mean, he's the one guitar player. I've seen people do interviews with him on their shows on social media, YouTube, whatever. And I was always blown away that George Lynch didn't do anything like with G3 or something. Satch and Vai and Lynch could, but I don't think that interests him. I don't think he, apparently, or maybe they didn't ask him. I don't know, but I just always wondered, why didn't he do anything like that? But I think he likes, after dealing with Don Dawkins all those years and all that, those bad vibes, I guess he just wants to be able to do his own thing and call his own shots. I get it. Nevertheless, George Lynch, incredible. I mean, damn. I remember when he used to work at me, he was pumping iron, he was jacked, boy. I was like, good God. I was like, what the hell is going on there? Let's see here. Oz Fox had a brain tumor? Oh, yeah. Was that what it was, man? I don't know. I have no idea. Mad Axman 44. What's up, man? Did Glenn Tipton pass away? I have no idea. Oh, my goodness. I hope not. Let's see. User Kid says, Joe, just say the guy with the croc fetish. He don't have no croc fetish, man. Everyone will know who you're talking about. Oh, Lordy mercy. He'd get a kick out of that. Let's see. Scott from South Carolina. They say Lynch is kind of moody and sometimes doesn't want to interact. Of course, I don't know the gentleman on a personal level. I have no idea, but just, watching some of the interviews I've seen people do with him, I kind of get that vibe. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. When I was watching some of that stuff, I was like, he acts like he don't want to be there, man. I don't know. Maybe he don't like being on camera. It could be a number of things. Maybe he's having a bad day, but okay, I can see that for one interview, but like that on all of them, it's like, damn. But I don't know. What do I know, man? Nothing. Let's see here. Oh, Ted just sent me the YouTube link for the Heavy Metal Parking Lot Judas Priest concert 1986. Oh, Lordy. Just look at the way people wore their hair back then. And that's how it was. That's how it was. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Kevin Newman. Let's see. Joe and Ralph jamming to Two Live Crew and Sally. Oh no. Nah. I can't. Not to that. It was not that. I never got into Two Live Crew. The early stuff that he introduced me to was it was a group called UTFO. This is in the early '80s. Okay, so this stuff was in its infancy. You could say UTFO. They had quite a few great songs, but the most popular one was called Roxanne. Roxanne. That was huge. And then oh man, there was all kind of Dougie Fresh, all that stuff. He introduced me to that and all kind of stuff like that. It was cool for the time. And sometimes I'll listen to some of that old stuff and say, yeah, man, that's awesome. Mike, Joe, plug in for, no, man, I'm not in the mood to play tonight, man. I have not practiced at all today. I'm sorry. I have not, man. The only thing I did today was I took the EVH trim off that guitar and put a Godo 1996 T on there with some upgraded posts and tuned it up and put it back on the wall. And I have not played anything today. I haven't practiced nothing at all. And so it would be a train wreck if I tried to play something right now. So I'll save that for Saturday night if that's okay. I need to. Speaking of playing, you know what? What time is it? Damn, it's almost midnight. Okay, Eastern Standard Time. I'm supposed to go to Ralph's tomorrow. Dang. So I guess it's good that I'm not working tonight. I'm going over there tomorrow to take some equipment, and we're going to try to jam a little bit. It's just going to be a rough run through, getting things set up. Those powered PA speakers I got from Alto and the stands. I got the other Rodecaster Pro 2. I got some cables. I'm going to be taking that over there to Rouse, and we're going to get it set up. And there's 5 songs that I got downloaded with that are the drums are missing and the guitar's missing. And we're going to try to work on those 5 songs. Not all that tomorrow, but I think tomorrow we're going to spend the majority of my time over there just getting stuff set up, doing some sound checking, and then I'll go over there, not the next Friday, but the one after that. So I'm hoping to go over there to his house every other Friday, weather permitting, and if nothing doesn't, come up and have to reschedule. But I'm supposed to be going over there tomorrow, so hopefully that'll go good. And looking forward to that. So, the Young MC Bust a Move. That's a great song. I got that. Like I was reading the songs off my music library there. I love that song. Yeah, it's a great song. But yeah, so that's tomorrow. I got to figure out what guitar to take. I don't even know what guitar I'm taking. You know what I might take? I got a EVH Stripe series. It's the black and white. I think it's I have to dig it out back here. I might take it. I haven't played that guitar in a long time. I might take that guitar. That's a great guitar, and the pickup that came stock is really hot. That pickup is insanely hot. And I was like, dang, they must have put some extra winds on this pickup. This thing screams. My other Stripe model, they don't sound like that. But anyway, I guess I get ready to get out of here, y'all. I know everybody's got to get in the bed. It's getting late. A lot of people have went ahead and hit the sack, and I completely get it. I don't know how to say. Thank you so much. I don't know what to say. This has been such a tremendous turnout for a unscheduled live stream. We had such wonderful conversation tonight, talking about great music from the 80s and music, movies, and songs that took you back to certain points in your life. And of course, we talked about my medical, not experiences. What am I talking about? Surgeries and history and stuff like that. And everybody has shared their stories in the chat as well. And that's what I love. I love to read people's experiences, their stories, their experience, whatever I just said, and whatever. I mean, it's amazing to hear what y'all like to do as well. So it's just fantastic. And but let me see here. Before we head out, let me check out a couple more comments. And Scott from South Carolina, Sting just paid his police bandmates over $800,000 for songwriting credit. Goodness, $800,000. That's a nice payday, isn't it? The Police, another great band from the '80s. Come on, man, they went out on top. Sting said he wanted to do his own thing. Dang, I was always enjoyed them. Just fantastic, you know. Very talented trio, man. Those guys are amazing. Dave Case, he says, thank you for the great walk down memory lane tonight. So, hey, thank you, man. Thank you for being here. And thank you for sitting with me and chatting. And this made for a fantastic night. I mean, I don't know how to thank you. I just, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Scott says, I'm retired, so I can go on all night. Hey, that's nice. I wish I could retire, man. Man, that'd be nice. Oh my God. If I could go there, I don't want to say tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, but my next scheduled day, I wish I could go in there and say, you see these keys? Here, you can have them. I'm gone. But I cannot do that right now. Let's see. User Kid, Joe, thank you for inviting us to hang out with you. Now go and jam to New Kids on the Block. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, my God. That's funny. I hear you. Scott from South Carolina. Sting sold his catalog for $200 million? Okay, really quick. I don't mean this in any kind of disrespectful way. $200 million, you think it'd be more than that, though. But I mean, $200 million is great. Don't get me wrong. But for Sting's material or his catalog, you think it'd be more than that, though. I guess, I don't know. What the heck do I know? I don't know anything. I just thought it might be like maybe $400 million or something, but I don't know. Whatever. Kevin Newman, he says, are you going to play Centerfold Saturday? I wasn't planning on it. I have to look the song up. It's a great song, though. I love that song. That is a great song. I haven't tried playing that song in many years, but it's fun to play. Mad Axman, he goes, I hate I missed the first part of the show. Oh, man. But there's always the replay. You can always check that out, too, my friend. Always. Mike, hey, Mike. He goes, hey, Joe, are you off today? Yes, sir. I was off tonight. I was fortunate to, I was told earlier this afternoon that I didn't have to work. So I was like, well, I'm going live tonight, and I'll go live again with Ralph on Saturday night. Oh, Lord. Scott says centerfold and center field. That's pretty good. Play these two songs. They both are with CF. That's a good tongue twister there. That's good. Eddie Murphy, Roxanne, worth $200 million. Goodness gracious alive. Man, oh man. But, yeah, thank y'all so very much, man. I just, this has been fantastic. And let me swap cameras here. Make sure I get this right. And yeah, so y'all be sure to come back Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And I don't know what the title of the show is going to be yet. I haven't had time to really figure something out. But as always, we'll figure something out. It won't be too bad. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we hope to see you back here again for another visit. So thank you so much, y'all. Y'all have a great one, man. God bless y'all. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.